ngelinye ilanga iParliament kufanele licabangele uma liza kuthina iningi lethu njoba silapha yana sisila ku grassroots asifundile siyasidinga futhi nesikhathi mhlawumbe bengathi mina azikhona futhi ezinye indlela ukuthi nithi nifika sibe sesi well prepared ukuthi sikwazi ukukhuluma ngezinto ezithinta thina ngoba le indaba yomhlaba iyona issue ithinta thina so anisinikezeni isikhathi sikwazi nathi ukuthi siye emakhaya siyoyifunda nje le document nje lena nje siyoyifunda ukuthi what is all about ngizoqala ukunderstand mina sengisekhaya ukuthi yini kahle kahle ekhuzaneni ebhalwe la ngizocela ukuthi ke ngiku lignothe iParliament lokho bese ke uma kuphela lama public hearings kuzothatha isikhathi esingakanani ukuthi lolu daba lolu lusekliswe eParliament bese siyabuya siyatshelwa futhi okunye engizokudlulisa kuwe kwaba khona ama applications ake aqhubeka ubuthola ukuthi abanye abantu kuthiwa bayo applya eMnambithi abanye kuthiwa bayo applya elekhuzane eFrayet kahle kahle ngodaba lomhlaba thina abantu we will not consulted ngiyabonga
siyabonga kakhulu.
Good morning. My name is Machovana Mgomezulu. I am from the EFF. I thank the committee for coming here. I am from Ward 6. In my family, we have been living in a farm for more than 60 years, but we were evicted of 333 hectares of land. I am here to support the expropriation bill. I would like you to do pass this bill. But my message to the portfolio committee is based on your decisions. I would like you to appreciate the kind of people that you are dealing with. For example, we have just received this document. I have not read it. I am not prepared, but I'm able to voice my opinions because I know what's going on land matters. Most of us here are uneducated, therefore we need time. I would like to know if aren't there any other means of you preparing us prior to your arrival here, so that when you arrive here, we will be knowledgeable about what you are talking about. We need you to give us time to read this document so that we can know what it is all about. Once I get home, that will be the only time that I will be able to exactly know what the document is about. Therefore, I would like you to do note this as a parliament. After the public hearings, I would like to know how long it will take before you make any considerations on this matter. On another issue, we were requested to apply about land matters, so some of us went to Ladysmith and the others went to Fryhead. We really would like you to consider us on this matter. Thank you.
Asibingelele everybody at the house, and we will also want to observe the protocol in that regard as they are. Igama lami ngubongano kaMazibuko, representing the African National Congress from Josiah Kumeta region, coming from Ladysmith, Ward 25 in Colenso, which is part of Ladysmith. Chair, thanks very much for the opportunity. We firstly want to acknowledge and appreciate the fact that finally we've got such an opportunity just to air our views. However, what should be taken into account and noted quite seriously is the factor of time. It is quite affecting the whole process. However, we'll just vent whatever views. Why I'm saying so? Simply because the very same document needed to have been workshopped quite thoroughly so that we own it, we're able to vent exactly, because this is a legal document in essence. For a layman person like myself, it might be very difficult to relate easily with it, unless it's an area of my specialty. So, but however, we appreciate the fact that we are here today. Now, Chair, The land question on its own, that is just my historical capturing of such a concept, remains a natural resource before it translates to be a commercial aspect. Of course, under capitalist setup, it's counted among the resources that need to be considered in making profit. Hence, we find ourselves in a particular dilemma. That's a premise from which we need to understand the land question. That's for me. The very same reasons why the land was confiscated to African people is the very same profit-motivated reasons. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't the case. It's just a history. There's a lot that can be said around the land question, theoretically speaking. However, let me not waste my 5 minutes or my 10 minutes. Thanks. Chair, in taking into account the historical materialism of what may have transpired, all the atrocities, a lot has been said around that. I don't want to waste time. Surely the portfolio may have observed and strongly engaged on that particular historical effect of this particular question. Now, what then becomes important, hence we appreciate the fact you are here today, is that we have observed what is happening outside. A lot has been said. People are angry in all of that. You can name your EFF and all of that. We want to be sober, but this matter should be taken quite quicker, because people cannot actually take this any further unless we well translate. It may translate into a paradox of people's victory that was actually witnessed in 1994 if it's not taken seriously. However, Chair, moving forward.
Your time is up. Do you have something written? No, your time is up. Your time is up, Koken. Your time is up.
Can I continue? Ke lebohe modulasetulo. Ke o dumedise modulasetulo le maloko a hlomphehileng ka kakaretso. Lebitso la ka ke Tahleho Motlong. Chair, I'm representing the African National Congress from Inkosi Pambata region in the government language called Umzinyathi district. First and foremost, let us appreciate the opportunity given by the ANC-led government of coming to our masses to get a view on the suggested amendment bill. And it is very important that we must take the expropriation of land as it's just an equitable process to restore the dignity of our people in addressing the land question. And this expropriation must be carried out by the executive authority, which for the ANC is an executive, and only where may be disputed, which cannot be resolved, should be referred to the judiciary. But the process must be the process that will be very open to each and everyone to make a necessary contribution. And we must try at all times to find one another before we can opt to judiciary. We know it is a very thorny issue. Myself, Chair, I'm going to make only one contribution on the clause 8 of Section 25 of our Constitution. I will make a contribution on clause 8, the first line, which shall written as follows. No provision of this section, including the payment of compensation, may impede the state from taking legislative and other measures to achieve the land, water, and other related reform in order to redress the result of the past racial discrimination, provided that any departure from the provisions of this section in accordance with the provision of section 36.1. Thanks very much, Chair.
Greetings to everyone. Igama uPhumlani Khumalo from uThukela region uSanko engimele khona la kule ndawo. Endaweni engiqhamuka kuyona ibizwa iBergville uKhahlamba is also known as Drankesberg. Well, uma uthola i-background endawo uthola ukuthi there is uKhahlamba is known as a tourism destination area. Economy yakhona is formed by tourism and agriculture, and the tourism economy yakhona is owned by white people. Agriculture is owned by white people. Abantu abakhona, they are just there as foreigners. We feel as foreigners in our own territory. So even today we are being called to come here. Yet we understand that we are foreigners in our own territory. Sihlalo ngaphambi kokuthi ngiqhubeke angikusho ukuthi we support indaba yebill, but thina sithi siuSanko kuThukela region. We don't need to be rational in terms of expropriate umhlaba, but we need ukuthi sibe radical so that we understand ukuthi yini lesilwa ngayo. Mawuzoya biblically indaba yomhlaba uJakob wena amadodana awu12 wawabela umhlaba aba-Israel bathathwa eGibhithe bayiswe eKenani kwakungumhlaba. So silapha namhlanje sisakhuluma indaba eyodwa, sikhuluma ngomhlaba. So asazi ukuthi ubani noma umuphi noma kufanele kubuye uJesu azosisiza futhi ngendaba yomhlaba, because ziyahlala letha ngamefana nalezi, but sibona kwenzakala lutho and futhi asizakali ngalutho. So uma uya serious kufanele sikubone lokho esikwenza namhlanje. Ngenhlanhla upresident ngo2019 wese uKhahlamba upresident Cyril Ramaphosa bathi ayikhulume yomhlaba lapha eBergville ngilinganisele idam lakhiwa phakathi endaweni zabantu kwathi amangcwaba abantu asemfuleni phakathi adla umhlaba, and there are certain individuals aba benefit out of idam na amanzi asinawo. You go to mountains, it's ownership of white people. So we azibuza recently kusando kwakhiwa ifemi yengulube idliwe abantu ngenxa yokuthi iza nabantu abamhlophe udliwe umhlaba oclaimiwe wabantu. Kunama claimants akhona wathathwa ngenxa yokuthi kune partnership nabantu abamhlophe kwathiwa kwakhiwa ifemi yengulube abantu basala bekanjalo. So you question, you ask, noma singakumenshina lokho ayikho into ezokwenziwa la kuyogcina kuthiwa asodila na imatter asodila na nothing will happen. Abantu bastranded njengamanje abanandawo nayo yonke. So we are still asking ukuthi kahle hle lama committee aseparliament asebenzani uma kuukuthi njalo sisoba kuma talk shows afana nalawo siyakhuluma but akwenzekali lutho. So we are sending a message ukuthi namhlanje sihlala.
Siyabonga.
My name is Phumlani Khumalo. I represent Sanko from Uthukela region district. Our area covers Drankensberg, or called Ukhahlamba, which is a hub of tourism and agriculture. But unfortunately, so these economies are owned by the white minority in the area, yet black people in this area are foreigners. But I'm here to state we fully support this bill as SANCO, and we say that we should not rationalize this any longer, but we should just be radical about it. Even in the Bible, we hear of Jacob who gave his 12 sons land in Canaan, in a foreign land. So we don't know any longer whether we should be waiting for Jesus Christ to come and help us in this land question. The president came in our area a while back. A dam was built, but a couple of times along the line, a land was taken back because there was going to be a new pig farm that people had partnered with some white people for them to do, and the land that people had already claimed was recovered back. So we are here just to say these meetings, like this portfolio meeting, have become like talk shows, and nothing follows after that. So enough talk now, let's embark on action. Thank you.
We have been joined by our colleague from the National Assembly,
Sekungene ozakwethu abavela endlini eshayamithetho kazwelonke.
Honorable Maliake Shelembe from the DA.
Umhlonishwa Maliyakhe Shelembe we-DA.
Honorable Member, can you please come and sit in front?
Lungahlonipheke isicelo zohlala ngaphambili.
Honorable Member, you can't sit at the back.
Lungahloniphekile awunakuhlala emuva.
Okay.
Angibonge sihlalo. Lo khulumayo uManzulwandle kaHadebe, ngilunga noma ngucommander womkhonto wesizwe. I concur with the previous speakers. Umabethi, it looks like we are having a talk show, because it's not for the first time having this kind of gathering. Some 5 years ago, we did have something like this at Beechwood in Gauteng, talking about the expropriation of land without compensation. We, together with our white folks, we have admitted that apartheid was a monster against humanity. Actually, against the Africans in particular, and black people in general. After the TRC, we spoke about the reparation. It is more than 20 years now down the line and nothing has happened. And now we are talking about the expropriation or repossession of the land to the rightful owners. These rightful owners are the owners who are supposed to be compensated, because this land was taken by the criminals. Look at what is happening in Gaza with the Palestinians. The Jews are taking the houses and the land of the Palestinians by force. So this land, it was taken to our forefathers. I am the descendant of Nkosi Ulanga Balele, who was incarcerated in Robben Island. In 1879, Amahlubi, their land, it was taken. They fought against that land. He was punished for the crime which he never committed. And even today, I fought for this country, but I have never benefited anything. I'm going to die and leave my children without a land. I do support the bill with reservations and amendments. Amandla.
My name is Mandla Mazolwandle Hadebe. Thank you, Chair. I am an MK commander, and I concur with the previous speaker when they said it looks like we are having a talk show here. The rest was in English, Chair.
Ngicela ukubengelela iportfolio. Ngiwusizakele wakaHoffman ngiqhamuka.
I greet you. My name is
eNquthu,
Sizakele.
ngibuya ku-African National Congress. Ngizocela ukusupporta kakhulu ibill ngokuqala. Okwesibili bengicela ukuphathisa iportfolio umlayezo. Sibonga kakhulu ukuthi uhulumeni kaKhongolose ubathengelile abantu amaplaza. Kodwa kukhona inkinga oyibonayo ukuthi ke esebathengelile amaplaza uhulumeni azange alandele ukuthi bayakwenza yini lokhu ipurpose ayenzele ukuthi ke abathengele amaplaza. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi mhlambe uhulumeni kuyofuna athi revisit abuyele kubona abheke ukuthi ke njengoba bayithengele amaplaza bayakufeza yini lokho ababekucelela amaplaza ngoba umuntu uyabuka uthola ukuthi amaplaza sekuyinto abaqhashisa ngayo abasalethi umnotho lo ababethe bazowuthola kuhulumeni. Okwesibili ama-ofisi okuthi ke siyocela amaplazi kuhulumeni akude kakhulu mayisemarisburg. Asinayo imali yokugibela siye koMaritzburg. Sicela uhulumeni asibuyisele ama-ofisi awalethe noma eDandi noma eNquthu asondele kuthina. Kanti nawo ama-ofisi azosilekelela ngalomthetho oshaywayo. Sizocela ukuthi uhulumeni eze awalethe kuthina angawahambisi kude. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much. I greet the members of the committee. My name is Sizakele Hoffman. I am from the ANC. I support the bill fully, but I have this message that I would like to convey to the committee, that number one, we thank the ANC government for helping our people buy back the farms, but we just need our government to follow up on such programs to say, are they actually doing the initial and the original intent? Because many tend to lease these farms, it's no longer actually beneficiating the communities. Secondly, about the offices for land and agriculture. Most of them, whenever we need to apply for farms, we are told to go to Pietermaritzburg, which is a bit far from us. So we humbly request that offices be brought closer to where the people are, maybe even Dundee or Fright or Ladysmith, but somewhere in our district. Thank you so much.
Ngibingelela abahambeli bethu beParliament. Igama lami ngukuthubelihle Khoza, umama owaye khethiwe umphakathi waseNdumeni noma kumzinyathi district ukuthi abe uhlalo oyihlalo. Isingenile lento yabahlali ngokuhlukumezeka bamaplazi, kodwa kuze kube manje ayikho into ekhulunywa ngathi. Njalo makuphela u5 years kufike iParliament sisho lokho kungenzeki. Abazali bethu abahamba behlukumezekile ababe abahlali noma beabasebenzi bengeno 6 months or 3 months kuma plaza abakaze ingane zabo isizakala kwabona abazibahamba bengazange bekuthola ukusizakala. Bese kuba umhlaba othengwe uhulumeni wethu kaKhongolose usithengela abantu abase Endumeni noma kumzinyathi. Lawo maplazi layo azange abe nakho ukulandeleleka ukuthi lamaplazi njobe ethengwa athengelwa obani noma athengelwa lama trust mangakanani noma kuhamba kanjani, uhamba ngendlela yini umthetho wama trust noma ini. Nabantu abathengwa kulaba abalima bamhlophe abathengelwa umhlaba loyo bathi cha uhulumeni thina sizowudedela umhlaba uthengele laba bantu laba. namanje labo bantu laba bamhlophe basawusebenzisa lo mhlaba. Thina abantu abantsundu asinalo izwi kunemhlaba ethengiwe ekuthiwa ithengelwe Endumeni. Lawo maplaza lawo namanje awakaze athola ukuthi aye kubanikazi bawo benikezwe izinto insiza kusebenza nokuthi kubhekakala ukuthi abantu abayinzalo ngempela yilabo abantu laba bathatha imali kaHulumeni kwathiwa bathi bayudayisela lo mhlaba bawunikeza abantu abangabahlali akaze kwenzeke lokho. Still labo bantu laba banikezwe imali kaHulumeni ibona abasebenzisa lo mhlaba loyo begqilaze abantu abangabahlali nabangabasebenzi abasebenzela uHulumeni. Kunama farm athengwe ane equipment yawo kunabantu ingane thina esingabasebenzi balo leli farm leli eline inkomo ezu 865 Stradin farm ngicela ukuli appoint lelo farm lelo lidliwe yiwo umnyango yonke into yakhona equipment yakhona kwalandi umuntu okuthiwa caretaker akazosebenzisa leli farm leli ebuya leko eNewZ angazi ukuthi yes ubani go Richards Bay wafika lapho bakhona abalimi baningi abakhona la okwakungacheckwa kubona ukuthi balimi basedandi noma basendumeni ningakwazi yini ukuliphatha leli farm njengoba lo mlimo omhlophe ubekade liphethe ingane bekade isebenza no 15 to 20 years zisebenza leli farm elalisetshenzwa abazali bethu zabadengwane kwathi gcinwa lapho siboshelwa lelo plaza lelo. Engikubuza ukuthi njengoba ohlalo befikile la beParliament siyamfisa no umama oyiswomen's league oyohlala njalo kwiParliament ekhala nabantu abahlala abahlukumezeke bamafama nezingane zethu sesozesambe nathi singazisizwa phathi lamafama kodwa lamafama khona amafama anamawili anamatayitela namanje abakazisebenziswe lamafama lawo asetshenziswa abamhlophe.
Your time is up, Mbogoto.
Greetings to the members of Parliament. My name is Tubelihle Khoza. I was selected by people from Endumeni to be the chair of chairs. As farm dwellers, we are being discriminated and abused by farmers. The Parliament came here, and now we are here to voice our views, and it's not the very first time. They've been here before, and we did voice our views. Our parents worked in the farms, and they died, still facing discrimination in those farms. Now we are facing the same. The government bought farms for people from Mzinyati, but it was not clear who those farms were bought for. It was not clear whether they belonged to trusts or individuals. We would like that to be clarified. And the white people who had said that they would release the land to black people are still holders of that land. The land was bought for Endumeni citizens, but there have been no benefits. The people who took money from the government are still the ones who are using the very same land, and they keep on abusing or discriminating against farm workers. The farms have equipment, and where I work, there are 865 cows in that farm. The government did repossess some land, and that land was given to someone from Richards Bay to come and manage that land, whereas there are people, locals, who can do the very same job. I will keep on complaining to Parliament because as farm dwellers, and farm workers, we have a lot of problems. The white people are still abusing us.
Sanibonani, igama lami nguMbongiseni, ngibuya Bongiseni Ndlozi, ngibuya endaweni yaseGroenvlei. Umthetho ke lo oshaywa ngiyawusupporta ukuthi ke nginenkinga nyalo encane nje ukuthi njengoba kungekho umuntu wayelithengisa kwasekuqaleni owayothengisa kwasekuqaleni umhlaba, sicela ukuthi umhlaba uhlale uyilento eyona ube umhlaba
kancinci. Umkhulu Mazibuko, there is an emergency. Can you please go outside? Umkhulu Mazibuko.
Umkhulu Mazibuko kunesimo esiphuthumayo esimdinga phandle. Siyacela umkhulu kaMazibuko ukuthi aye phandle, kumele phandle.
Umkhulu Mazibuko. Okay, you may continue.
Ungaqhubeka baba.
Oh, ngiyabonga. Angazi noma iwasho ulubambile yini noma sekuzohamba kanjani. Kakhulukazi ngiyalibonga ithuba. Nginesifiso ukuthi uhulumeni umhlaba awube ngaphansi kukahulumeni. Umhlaba usebenzise sonke ngokulingana. Uyabona nje ngoba ngila ngisemncane kabi ngiready ngifuna ukusebenza kodwa ayikho into engayenza. Okubhlungu nje ukuthi ke umhlaba ubaba waklinywa ngo2000. These kambe nje sekufika lelo phepha likhombisayo ukuthi cha umhlaba sekwenziwani ngawo. NgoApril ingane zethu zikhonjwa ngesibhamu abelungu angazi labelungu ukuthi babesebenza bahlale njalo bephethe ibhamu. Mawuye emaphoyiseni amaphoyisa wakusiza ngalutho akuthethi nje thina ayikho into esingayenza ngomhlaba. Mawuye kwaLand Affairs lama abasebenzi bakwaLand Affairs bakhohliseka kalula khona abanikezwe kona uthothi indaba zenu nina zonke ziyanyathelwa uma ungena kwaLand Affairs uba inhlekisa angazi ukuthi ningasiza ngani okube nendlela yokuthi uma ngabe ngingaphathekanga kahle kulo Land Affairs enguwo ngikhona ukucomplaina same time bese kuthi futhi same time ngiyithole response efonini yami ukuthi hayi lo muntu oso leyo nto leyo yakho siyayiattenda siyanicela bakithi sisizeni ningathi ngoba namhlanje nisibize la ngoba senifuna ukuthi siyovota nezelo usinikeze amavoti ethu yebo sizonisupporta amavoti wethu sizonika kodwa ake nibe ngabantu eniyazi ukuthi nisibuyisele phela back sikwazi ukuthi sithole singakuthola siyanicela bakithi singalokho nje silokuseza njalo la seza njalo la asizakala abelungu umhlaba azange bawuthenga bathola thina sila eAfrika kungolokhu okwethu akubuyele kithina akho mali ofanele bakhokhele yona nizoyithatha phi imali yokuthi lokhokhele lonke le plus le nini akekho umuntu onomhlaba akeke bene system nje esetshenziswa ukuthi akekho umuntu onomhlaba bakithi asithole mahala sihambe siyosebenza enamthengela umhlaba uma engasawusebenzisi hambani niuthathe angawuqhashisela abanye abantu ukuthi bawusebenzise finish and clear ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much. My name is Mbongiseni Ndlozi. I want to thank you for coming back to us. My problem is just simple. Since the land was never sold, it should not be bought. It should just stay as is. Let the land that our government, let the land be under the ownership of our government, so that we, the citizens, can work the land. We actually want to work the land, and when our children work the land in our area, whites threaten them with guns. I don't know how come that whenever they are working, they've got guns on their waists. So that is what is happening right now. We just want to request that when we go, even when we try to report such matters to the Land Affairs Office to complain, they simply turn us into a laughing stock, into a mockery. So let there be some better and efficient way to escalate matters and complaints. That when this particular land office does not assist, let there be another, maybe even an SMS. When I register a complaint, let that complaint be acknowledged on my SMS that it is being received, it is being investigated, so that I get the continuous updates. Whites didn't buy the land from anybody. They found us here in Africa. And when will our government ever get the money to buy all this land that we want? So we just request that we need our land back, and we support the bill.
Greeting to everyone in the house. Igama lami Ayanda Mazbuga. Mphume Josiah Kumeta region. Umuntu akabonga isihlalo. Sibonga ukuthi ekulweni kwethu okungaka gcine kufikile la kule bill. Lesimini si support namhlanje. Umuntu akakuveza ukuthi noma isikhathi sibe side silwela lento ukuthi ifike kuze bekule ngxenye yebill. Njenga namanje ngeke ngisayi address esikhathi sihlalo. Si address kakhulu siyacela phela ukuthi nathi sisihloniphi nisiphe nje isikhathi njengoba nini naseParliament umuntu adlule kuleyo sihlalo aphinde futhi umuntu asupport yona ibill le support kakhulu ukuthi siyawudinga umhlaba wethu siyawufuna futhi manje Sicela futhi lo kwenze ngokusheshsha ngoba mekungenzeki sizolwa sihlala sizolwa nohulumeni wethu esuthandayo ukuthi awuyenze ibe yi-act lento esikhuluma ngayo. Umuntu adlule futhi sihlalo aye kule ezoyithinta distribution of land. Cha ngizongena sihlalo noma sebengenile. No, ayidistributwa kahle hle umhlaba ngendlela efanele sihlalo. Ngicela uhambe nayo inote le kwi-commission yakho. Abantu abamhlophe abanika ama-hectares amakhulu kunabantu abamnyama. It's true. Go and check calendar affairs sihlalo. So asingesibe lesixoxa kakhulu leyo. Sicela ni-implement cha ukuthi akulingane konke umuntu. Sidlule sihlalo. Siye kule agriculture. Usudistributiwe sihlalo umhlaba kubantu bethu ngoba ugovernment wethu ubukwenza namanje usakwenza noma khamba kancane kodwa funa si-appreciate ukuthi ugovernment uyabanika abantu abamnyama umhlaba. But uhamba kancane iprocess injalo chair. Sicela manje sinale element ekhona yokuthi mase distribute umhlaba sekwenziwe i-hand over from the farmer to abantu abamnyama. Kunalento esingayinayo yokuthi asu-assess umhlaba ukuthi usase progressive yini ukuthi labantu asebenika umhlaba usase progressive ukuthi ungaproduce lento kade uyiproduce. Uthola ukuthi after 5 months umhlaba kade uproduce all these years, after 5 months awusaproduce lutho umhlaba asasebenzi. Qale manje kublame black people us thiwa asikwazi ukusebenzisa umhlaba while ubona ukuthi kune-sabotage la. Sicela ukuthi before kunikwa abantu umhlaba akucheck ukuthi ucorrect yini umhlaba ukuthi unganikwa abantu usazoyenza into ipurpose ukuthi abantu bekwazi ukusebenzisa. Sidlule sekwi-funding, we fund challenge mase emabhange. Sicela ugovernment ethangelele lamabhange la khona. We fund challenge lapha ya mase besefuna ama-funding to ama-banks. Uma ufika lapha ya utshela ngama-document uhambe ulanda ufuna uwagcwalise uwafile uzama ucomplya with ama-rules abo and regulations abo. But khona abantu abamhlophe nje bona bafika nama-reference alula bengena abafana babelungu benikwe begrant bephume behambe. And we are tired of that. As young people nathi sifuna umhlaba sifuna usebenzisa. Ngiyabonga.
Greetings. My name is Ayanda Mazibugo. I am from Moses Mapida. Thank you for the discussion on this bill. I'm here to support the bill. The matter has been discussed for some time now. It is about time that we take action. I'm requesting the members of parliament to please give us enough time to discuss this matter. I do support this bill because we do need our land back and we need it back now. If this does not happen, we will fight, Chair. Make this bill an act. I must state that there is no equal distribution of land, Chair. Please note that white people do get more hectares than black people. You need to investigate this matter. I also request that you do implement this bill. There is distribution of land, even though it is quite slow. We must appreciate that the government is distributing land to people, although it's taking long. When it comes to a handover of land to black people, blacks do not go and assess the land to see if it is still able to produce. Because one would find that the land would have been producing and producing, but then after 5 months of receiving the land, they would find that it is no longer producing, and then they would say it is the black people who are failing. So it's important for people to go and check to see if they can be able to work on that land. And now when it comes to funding, we go to the banks and apply for funding. They give us documents to complete. We do complete those documents. And then we try by all means to follow all the regulations. We do follow regulations. But you find that when it comes to white people, things get done so easily for them. We as the youth also want the land so we can be able to work. Thank you.
Sibingelele baphathi bethu igama ngunjabulo Nkosi ngiqhamuka eMajuba district ngirepresent ANC nama-farm dweller. Mhlawumbe kokuqala nje asikuveza ukuthi siyawusupporta kakhulu section 25 ngale izathu extension of security of 10 Act 62 of 1997 okuEsther ehambisana nomnganakhe uLabor Tenants Act abasisizi kakhulu bakhona nje njengenja engalungi. So siyacela ukuthi i-amend i-bill le. But kukhona omunye umthetho ongasilekeleli. Umthetho lo we-land restitution uyasiqhatha kakhulu emaplazini. Siyacela nje ukuthi iParliament like lithi go and visit ngoba uthatha abantu asebasuka ubabuyisele while kunama labor tenants ngaleso sikhathi eplazini. But ngiyafisa ukuthi mhlawumbe iParliament liphinde libuke into yokuthi while sikhuluma into ya section 25 isiphi strategy esiza naso ukuthi silungele usection 25. One, kufanele sithi go into ka educational system yethu ngoba asikwazi ukukhuluma section 25 kodwa ingane zibe ifunda ngeagriculture engithi mayiphuma esikolweni ama university akhuluma agriculture emancane. Asibe siviva nangama university siviva nangama FET ukuthi obani kanti kufanele bawusebenzise umhlaba ngoba abelungu baphumelele nje ngoba into abakhuluma ngayo bayayazi. Two, ngiyafisa ukuthi mhlawumbe sike siyibuke indaba yema province kungani engabibikho uMEC noma umphathi obhekene nje ngqo nalomnyango ngoba umnyango obaleke kakhulu. Akusilekeleli ngempela ukuthi kuma principals ethu angabibikho uMEC obhekene nje nalomnyango direct. Siyacela ukuthi abe khona uMEC obhekene nalomnyango. But last ngiyacela ukuthi njengoba singama supporters eANC siyayisupport iANC ayi implement phela. Yithini sinikeza ipower ngithi ikwipower njengamanje. Ayi implement usection 25. Laba phikisana nawo sobuye sibabone but njengoba sisanika ivote nje sinikeza ipower ukuthi implement. Ngiyabonga.
My name is Njabulo Nkosi from Amajuba district. I represent the ANC and the farm workers. Greetings to our leadership. We fully support the bill because the current acts really doesn't help us. The land restitution is another big bone of contention because it causes us to fight as it brings back people who have already left the farm whilst the farm is still occupied by labor tenants. And the Section 25 bill, we say it should be implemented with some amendments, of course. And also we need to focus on our university curriculums. Our FETs should capitalize more on agriculture so that when this land is brought back to us, we are able to effectively, productively and profitably work it for all our sakes. There should also be an MEC who is fully responsible for the land. We therefore support this bill and we as the ANC, as the people, we give you the authority to implement. Thank you much.
Sibonge ithuba igama nguSiphiwe Khumalo obuya eMajuba district o representa iANC aphinde futhi a represent istructure esikhona lapha eMajuba esibizwa ngokuthiwa iAmajuba Conflict Resolution Task Team esidila ngeindaba zabantu abahlala emaplazini inkinga zabo ama conflict abo ama farm dwellers. Mhlambe nje kokuqala umuntu akakubeke nje caca ukuthi njengomuntu mangithi ngibe eMajuba ngumuntu ohlala emaplazini eMajuba endaweni yaseMadlangeni okhule umzali wakhe esebenza ukhokho wakhe esebenza iplaza nomkhulu nobaba kweze kwafika kuthina into ekuthiwa nje iplaza indaba yasemaplazini into esingayizwe emaphepheni nesingayifunda nenhlungu lekhona emaplazini abantu abakhala ngayo eniyibuka kuma TV thina ke sihlala nayo njengoba nje ngiphinde ngilokhunja ngirepresent ilokhunja le farm dwellers ilokhunja i-task team le ama farm dwellers izinto lezi esidila ngazo usuku nosuku. Mhlambe before nje sihlalo ngikhuluma okuningi okokuqala nje ngisho ukuthi ngiyakusupport ukuthi umthetho lo mawuamendwe futhi ngokusheshsha usu late ngezathu ke ezilandelayo ke ngoba ngisho ngithi bese ngishilo kunye kwakho ukuthi njengomuntu ohlala emaplazini siyazazi lezi zinto nathi akusiphathi kahle ukuthi obaba bethu bakhula besebenza emaplazini kodwa nathi manje asikhona ukuhlomula. Ngiyacabanga ikhulume seyikhulume ngaphambili kwethu sikibeke nje okunengwe ngeke umuntu asangena kukona njengalokho nje ade bekusho ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi uthola umlungu oyedwa endenqwabe yamaplaza kodwa ke thina okhokho bethu njengami nje ngiwela ohlangothini lelama labor tenant okucacayo kumuntu ongayazi labor tenant ukuthi yini labor tenant umuntu osuke efike eplazini lapha sebenza engaholi lento ekuthiwa umholo nje from kukhokho iholo lakho kwakuba ukuthi mhlawumbe uzoniwa leyo portion nyane encane yendawo ekuthiwa uzolima khona bese mhlawumbe ufuye inkomo eziwu10 nakhona ziyakala lezo nkomo zandlula ku10 kuthiwa nciphisa nalezo iyona payment lesasinayo. So since uhulumende wethu from 1994 kuamendwa imithetho le ade mfowethu omunye wakhulume ngayo LTA no S up until manje even ama claim esawafaka ama farm dollars awafaka ahamba kancane. So okuyinto esibona ngazathi nayi yasicindezela nakho lokhu ke okwele mithetho vele khona njengamanje siyisebenzisayo ugovernment sibona umosha imali eningi njengomuntu ohlala kulama lokhu nje odila nama conflict every day. So ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Sipiwe Kumalo. I am from Machuba District. I am a member of the ANC and I am also a task team member for the Amachuba Conflict Resolution Task Team. We handle farm dweller conflicts. I am a farm dweller from Madlangeni. My great-grandparents were farm dwellers. The same happened with my grandparents, they were farm dwellers. My dad as well, my father was a farm dweller, and now we as well are farm dwellers, and we are experiencing problems. We don't only read about them in the newspapers or hear about them on the radios or see them on television. We do experience problems as farm dwellers. As a representative from the Amachuba Conflict Resolution Task Team, we deal with such issues on a daily basis. I am here to support the amendment. However, this amendment has come very late because of the following reasons. Like I mentioned earlier, previously, that I do know of such problems that farm dwellers experience. Our forefathers worked in that farm and there were no benefits or they were not paid for the work that they did. As past speakers said, white farmers, they get more land than black farmers or black people. So as I am a labor tenant, what that means is that you work in a farm without being paid. All you get is a small portion of land where you can farm, and can also have not more than 10 cows. If you happen to have more than 10 cows, you are asked to decrease the number of cattle. We have been waiting for amendments for a long time now. We also applied claiming land and we're still waiting. I feel that we are being discriminated against. Thank you.
Siyabonga kubo bonke sebethethile.
Thank you to all who have spoken.
We are now going to take the last round.
Sesothatha-ke abokugcina.
Okay, number 1.
Number 1.
Number 2, so Dolopu.
So the mayor is number 2.
Number 3. Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 4. Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 6.
Number 6.
7.
7.
Yeah, 7. 8 at the back.
8 laphaya emuva.
9.
9.
10.
10.
Masiphakame, we're taking the last round.
Sesithatha abokugcina manje, izandla maziphakame.
Mama uyaya pha 10. 11.
Number 11.
Yeah, 12, 13, 14, 15.
12, 13, 14, 15, nonke nikhonjiwe.
Ukhona omnye esingamkhombanga?
Ungabe ukhona ongakhonjwanga?
Okay, this is the last round, Gene.
Abokugcina laba abizwayo njengamanje.
Uma lo uhleli pha ne jacket grey. Yes, ma. Iza ngapha apha ngaphambili. Susumama lo, susumama. That one. Mama lo wa. Yeah. Makasuku mama akazothetha mos yena so athi we allow aba bazothetha sizokwazi umovie line.
Njengoba ngizokhuluma sicela ukuthi usukume lapho uze kuhlale laba bazokhuluma.
Izohlala ma apha. Yeah.
Ungahlala khona lapho ma.
Bingelele endlini, bingelele bonke ubukholo obukhona ngaphakathi. Ngingumphenduleleni General Hlubi, ngisuka Alfred Duma Municipality. Ngimele umkhonto wesizwe military veterans. Umuntu makaqale athi uyabonga kakhulu mhlawumbe imisebenzi esiyenziwe ukuzama ukulekelela impilo ibe ngcono kubantu eSouth Africa. Mhlambe sengishilo ngiyafisa futhi ukuthi ngisho ukuthi ngiyawusekela lo mthetho ukuthi mawushintshwe lo mthetho ubuyele ekutheni ukwazi ukuthi usize abantu. Mhlawumbe ke umuntu esewusupportile ukushintshwa kwawo umthetho kunezinto umuntu abefisa ukuziveza engazi noma zizovela endaweni efanele yini. Okokuqala yiloko othola ukuthi abantu ababehlala emaplazini ngizosibala mina njenganami. Umndeni wakithi wawuhlala emaplazini wahamba umndeni wakithi kwatholakala ukuthi ngenxa yesimo esasiphethwe ngaso wagcina ukhishiwe eplazini. Usukhishiwe uyokhosela kulezi ndawo okuthiwa kusemakholweni ezinabantu ababekade bewuthengile umhlaba. Nawo ke mhlambe ngenhlanhla kwahamba sakwazi ukuthenga thina lo mhlaba wokuthini. Kodwa ke sinabantu abahleli nathi kuleyo mhlaba nabo kade bexoshwe emaplazini. Osekuhamba ke na umlalela ekhuluma esho amalungelo akhe omhlaba. Ethi ngoba sengineminyaka emingaka ngihleli kulo mhlaba. Kusho ukuthi nami senginelungelo kulo mhlaba awukwazi uvela ungikhiphe. Eyami ke beyithi silekeleleni ngoba laba bantu baze bafika bazokhosela noma size sizokhosela emihlabeni abantu ababeyithengile emncane. Sisuka endaweni okusela amaliba asemakithi kuona lawo maplaza. Okubhlungu ukubizwa ngelabor tenant. And yet mina umnikazi womhlaba ngibizwe mina ngelabor tenant. Okubhlungu okulandelayo lokuthi nasikhuluma ukuthi bazocompensatewa. Ngokwami mina nginento ethi ifanele ngabantu abacompensatewayo. Yithina esasibanikazi balezi indawo esisebenze kuzona singaholi njengoba ke wachaza uqeda ukukhuluma. Esisebenze kuzona singaholi iminyaka. Banemali already abayithathe ngamandla ethu ngomhlaba wethu. Uma khona ufanele bacompensate umbuzo uyabuza ukuthi konje ukukhokhela yini ngoba wathatha into yami. Ngathi ngasebenza kuwena iminyaka wahlomula ngamandla ami. Abantu fanele bacompensate kusho ukuthi thina not them. Ngibuye kancane nje ngingene lo ngithe angazi noma ngizobe ngubeka endaweni efanele yini. Imhlaba kukhona iplaza elasikhona esasingabalo thina sasihlala kulona. Lithengiwe iplaza nalithengwa iplaza kodwa kusho ukuthi abantu abasebenza eminyangweni kwaLand Affairs baba nobugebengu ababenza ngoba khamba sesithi iplaza sesilitholile. Kwamba wasekuvela ukuthi kuleli plaza esikulona kukhona abantu abavela kuleli plaza bavela eplaza lesibili langlahle bavela eplaza lesithathu eplaza neliwa umuntu oyedwa uvela emaplaza namathathu. Lathathwa ke iplaza lanikwa icurator. Sekuphelile ma. Awu uNkulunkulu wami. Haleluya. Kodwa ke kuphuthume ukuthi umhlaba ubuye uze thina. Noma kuphelile mntana.
Thank you so much. My name is is General Endumeni Hlubi from the MKVA. Greetings to all the leadership present. We acknowledge and notice many attempts that are being made to actually beneficiate and liberate our people. I therefore support this bill to help our people. People who have worked and stayed in farms like me. I'm one of them. I was born there, I've stayed there. But some of us have left those farms to what is now called emakolweni. That's where people buy some small stands that they own. So some of us have moved to stay in those areas. But now when there is compensation or when people are paid who are like labor tenants are now discriminating us, or they are excluding us. They don't want us to be part and parcel of the compensation. Yet we're born there, we grew up there, our generations were there, but for some reason we left or were evicted from the farms. Some of these matters we do report to the local land affairs offices. We're not sure whether it's due to mistakes or due to corruption, that you would find some claimants or beneficiaries appearing on multiple farms, on multiple claims, which causes a confusion. So it was just narrating that and time went up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'll be mixing the languages during my submission. First of all, Chair, is gonna be the worry. My name is Umatula Nkosi umzukulwana kaMadlulimu, ubaba wami uBhantshile Hashi. Ngicabanga ukuthi inkinga enkulu okokuqala nje i-mindset kithina abantu. Angenze nje isibonelo, ngehleli lana sihlalo siyiningi thina abampisholo la ngenhlanhla siseNatali, la abantu abaningi bekhuluma isiZulu. Kodwa makukhuluma umuntu ongumZulu siyatolika. Kwakhuluma umama womlungu, amakhehla nogogo abagcwelela abangatolikelwa ukuthi uthini umama womlungu. Ngicabanga ukuthi kube yiphutha lena. Ngifuna ke ukuthi as umuntu omnyama wase South Africa I support into yokuthi ilungelo lomhlaba lenziwe libe ngumthetho, kodwa ngiyayiphika sihlalo lena yokuthi kuthiwe kulungiswa umthetho ngoba i-Expropriation Act ka-1975 yayiney'nhloso ey'hluke kabi kulokhu esikhuluma ngakho. Okwayo kwakuwukwenza ukuthi abamhlophe bahlale bephila kangcono, abamnyama bahlupheke. Esikhuluma ngawo umthetho njengamanje ukuthi zishintshe izinto, abantu babe nelungelo lobunikazi nokuthi isidima sabo sibe khona. So ngicabanga ukuthi ke uma ngabe singathi kuyalungiswa noma ujobelelwa umthetho owawuphikisana noma unenhloso ehluke kakhulu, kuyobe siyayikhohlisa. Inkinga enkulu sihlalo ukuthi uma ngabe seniseParliamente kuba sengathi uhulumeni usukile kubantu ngoba kuthatha isikhathi eside ukuthi sibuye ebantwini. Neminyango kahulumeni kube nzima ukufinyelela kuyo ngoba laba abantu abayisebenzi kahulumeni kulula kubo ukuthi bathi uhulumeni akekho bazokwenza ama-submission ngalesi sikhathi abantu befa. So it's very imperative that this bill be expedited very quickly because the people that are affected by the negative impact of the history of where we're coming from because of what is happening with the people, against the people, by basically those people that were very much at the forefront of depriving the black people have been benefiting. Now we are seemingly finding excuses to ensure that we take what is for the people from those that have stolen it to give it back to the people. So into yokuthi ke kuthiwe kufanele abantu bancephezele, ngicabanga ukuthi siyayikhohlisa ke ngoba enkonfeni ye-African National Congress, one of the resolutions, ngimenshina lena sihlalo ngoba we are a majority in parliament. Sathatha i-resolution ethi we are expropriating land without compensation. But now this bill has got issues and strategies of ensuring that people are going still to be compensated. So it means we are indicating left and we are turning right. In doing that, we are misleading the people that are for the ANC, that support the ANC, whose livelihood and wishes are behind the ANC. Thank you.
Okay. The speaker, as he mentioned, Chair, was mixing English and isiZulu. I'm going to interpret the part that was in isiZulu. The first problem is the mindset of black people. For example, most of us here are black, and it is KwaZulu-Natal, so we are speaking isiZulu. The interpreters are interpreting from Zulu to English and not from English to isiZulu. So when a person speaks in English there, a member of the public speaks in English, the interpreters are not interpreting to isiZulu so that the old ladies or old people can be able to understand what the other speaker was saying. I would like to say that I do support that the land rights should be converted to an act, but I disagree on the part of the term amendment, because we cannot say that this is an amendment, given that the reasons behind the previous acts of 1975 were to enrich white people, and now the previous governments, when the previous government had this act in 1975, the intentions were different from that of the current government. The intention was to enrich the white people, and now it is completely a different situation. Therefore, one cannot say that this is an amendment. This issue should be looked into. Another problem, Chair, is that when Parliament or members of Parliament move back to Parliament, it's like the government has moved away from the people. They make decisions without consulting, whereas people would like to make the submissions to government so the government can make decisions. The following part was in English, therefore I will go on and interpret the next part, which was in isiZulu. Now, when it comes to our issue of compensation, the ANC is the majority in Parliament, and in the ANC conference, there was a decision or a resolution taken that land would be expropriated without compensation. Thank you.
Sanibonani Parliament ehloniphekile. Igama lami nguNikobane wakaSwazi uWard 11 eGreat Howe. Inkinga esinayo Parliament lethu esiniphathisa yona lapha enofike ithule khona. Sinenkinga yemihlaba ethengiwe sithathe iminyaka eminingi ingathengwa, yathengwa isiyonakele sinehlahla. Ayithathwanga emabhunwini yadluliselwa kuthina. Lemhlaba isinehlahla yonakele laba isebenzayo abaholi bayasebenza nje. Umkhiqizo ukude makunjalo. Ngoba vele ke kwakuyinhloso ukuthi amabhunu esiwina. Mase kuthi lo mhlaba ononile unikwa amabhunu, akekho umuntu ukuthina othengela umhlaba onamahlathi. Umhlaba onamahlathi wonke uwele kubelungisa nikwa lo thina oqothukile. Parliament ehloniphekile angisezukukhuluma okuningi bakhulumile ozakwethu ngomhlaba. Kunabantu kuWard 11 umnyango semnambitho othi awabona amaphepha aba ilokhu itayitele labo sebeneminyaka bethengelwe umhlaba babizwa ngentaba enkulu ngokweplaza bayi Orode neskipe esidala. Parliament ehloniphekile nilandelele namaplaza niwabona athenga ukuthi abenelena abantu. Umhlaba awuqhubeka, abantu bayazalwa bayaqhubeka. Siyanicela. Kuneplazi ngakithi ekhulu okuthiwa liyadayiswa nge4. Elethu lelo plazi lanqunyiwe phakathi. Kuthiwa lidliwa odinishwali. Owayethengile uNomalanga oweqhamuka eGoli eSoweto wanikwa ngoba naye ethenjiwe. Siyacela lolo plazi nilandelela umnyango ukuthi wenza ngakhona. Sibikile kwabasePitoli bathi bayalazi lolo daba. Banawo ke lo mqondo ukuthi imali abanayo ngoba kugcinazelwa thina abantu abamnyama. Siyacela parliament nilandelele, siyanicela ngikudlulisa ukubonga ngiyichuma.
Thank you so much. My name is Bani Mkono. The message that we would like to relay to you, Honorable Committee, is that the land that has been bought by government and handed over to people mostly has been corrupted. The fertile and the arable land is actually allocated to the Boers. Then the land that has growth, that has got trees, is allocated to people for people to farm. They farm that land without any profit, without any income, and they don't realize any production because the land has already been wasted. So without a waste of time and without saying much, I would like to bring to attention to Ward 11 in Ladysmith, where there are people for a long time who have applied for a farm there, but there's been no progress, there's been no update or whatsoever. Please also follow up on the farms that are actually bought by government and handed over to people. Like in our area, on the 4th, the month was not mentioned, there's gonna be an auction of a farm that we have claimed. We've been advised, because Land Affairs also has knowledge of this farm, that a certain lady called Nomatemba from Soweto is the one that was awarded this farm. Yet this farm, we have claimed for it, it's our farm, we need it. Please intervene in that regard. Thank you.
Ngiyabonga. Bathi ngubheka uyise wakwaThusa umlotshwa endaweni yaseDandi eFarm Doctor ngaphansi komzinyathi. Engicela ukungidlulisa la kuhle ngibonge uma uhulumeni esukuma ezakithi thina abantu esikhathazekile lapha phansi. Ngicela uqala ngalokhu ke lapha endaweni yaseNdumeni kube khona ithuba lokuthi uhulumeni avula amathuba ukuthi abantu bekhale ngezinto ezazibaphethe kabi. Abasendumeni ke eFarm Doctor abasukuma abantu bacela ukuthi bancishezelwe ngendawo yokhokho babo nomkhulu babo ngemali. Uhulumeni uzamile ke nokho wabanikezela. Bakhona ke kodwa abasele njengoba ngithi nani njengoba nilapha nje nithunywe uhulumeni ingathi nize ngengxenye yodwa khona lengxenye yabantu abawucela ndulo umhlaba abemali banikwe kalula abomhlaba abanikwa kalula kuyasinda bengacela ke lo mndeni lo wakwaThusi nalabo abafuna umhlaba ukuthi niphindele emuva nikusho lokhu uhulumeni sebeyitholile bemali kalula abafuna umhlaba kuyasinda okusho ngamagama thina abantu abamnyama kulula sifuqelwe emalini okwaziwa ukuthi vesi izoyiphindisela emuva cha ke lemndeni lesele icela ukuthi inikwe na umhlaba ngoba sebenikiwe abancetshizelwe ngemali. Okwesibili uhulumeni abantu abahlele ehlalweni siyabakhumbuza sonke sizidalwa kaNkuluNkulu umhlophe uyelo ubomvu njani kodwa sizidalwa kaNkuluNkulu abasehlalweni bebele abantu abamnyama abakuthathe leke ngikushoyo ngoba ngelinye ilanga lezi nyembezi eqhamuka lapha phansi ziyobafica kusukela ngo1976 siyazazi igigaba ezenzakalisa eSouth Africa kodwa futhi masibheka manje ngendlela okwenzeka ngayo abantwana abazolandela abazukulu bethu bayophinda futhi benze lezi yazinto ngenxa yesimo sabantu abahlele ehlalweni ofuna bayazilungisa izinto babheka imali kakhulu. Sonke sizidalwa kaNkuluNkulu umhlophe umnyama unjani sidalwe umdali ngakho ke uma abantu abahlele lapha ehlalweni bezogada u5 years bese bephuma beshiye kunje lezi asinyembezi nalela gazi liyochitheka liyobuzwa kubo. Sibongile nize kithi sebekhulumile abaningi ade sikusho abelungu siyafana nabo baba nenhlahla yokumelwa abantu abebe bamele kwaHulumeni abasukuba abantu abamnyama kwabaHulumeni basimele nathi ngokweqiniso. Siyabonga.
Thank you. My name is Pegui Semchaji. I am from Dundee under Umsinyati district. I thank the government for coming here to Endumeni. We were once given a chance or an opportunity by the government to lay our complaints. And at that time, we were also able to claim our ancestral land. We did claim and we were compensated, but there are still outstanding claims. Those who wanted money receive the money easily, whereas those who wanted land are still waiting. It seems like those who want money can get it easier than those who want land, whereas the ones who want land are unable to get the land. And you know that when one gets money, one is able to just use up that money. We are all God's creatures, whether we are black or white. We need you to listen because these tears that we are crying will eventually catch up with you. South Africa has faced many trials, as we know what happened in 1976. Our grandchildren will end up doing the same acts as the ones from 1976. Leaders do get an opportunity of 5 years, but they are just after money and are not doing their work. We are all God's children, no matter what race you come from. You have the 5 years, but you end up wasting it. These tears will catch up with you. The white people were very lucky because those who were representing them did represent them well. Now black people are in charge. We need you to represent us well as black people. Thank you.
Igama lami ngingubuyisiwe Mtshali ngiqhamuka eStratton Farm. Stratton Farm lidayiswe ngo-2013. Malidayiswa ngo-2015 usisi lona owayelidayisa wezemnyango zemhlaba samtshela ukuthi sikhona ngaphakathi kepha kazange asilalela kazange alandele emlandelo. Balanda umuntu empangeni wazodla zonke inkomo ezu-865. Maya qeda ukudla lezo inkomo ezu-865 masithi siyasukuma siyakubo futhi abezemnyango bathi kumele ukuthi adle ubisi oluchithekile angeke usalibutha. Sisele thina siwumphakathi wakhona sihleli asinalutho asisebenzi. Ingane zethu zahlala 2 years zingafundi. Sidayisa inkomo namanje ukuthi ikwazi ukufunda ziyasiphelela nalezo inkomo. Wasuka futhi wona umnyango walanda umuntu ngapha ko Lime Hill. Wazomqhashisa wathi iplazi elikaHulumeni. UHulumeni uqhashisa kanjani ekubeni umphakathi ulambile ungadlile? Ikuphi thina lapho kumele siphephele khona uma ngabe abantu okuyibona sithi balwela amalungelo ethu kube yibona basigqilazayo? Ikuphi lapho kumele sikhale khona sizwakale? Alikho iqembu thina mphakathi wasemaplazini esisalithemba manje ukuthi lilone lisenzele okulungileyo. Emaplazini asinakiwe. Lamaplazi okuthiwa abantu bakaHulumeni kumele bebuye bezowabheka ukuthi ayasetshenziswa noma dliwa ayaqhashiswa. Aqhashiswa ngoba zingekho insebenza zokusebenza. Amaplaza khona agcina ngokudliwa futhi abantu bakaHulumeni bedla imali zakhona. Kwalandela uphenyo kwagcina kuthuleke futhi kanjalo. Siyacela ke nisicabangeleni emaplazini aseDandi. Siyahlukumezeka futhi manje sesihlukumezwa yiwo lo Hulumeni wethu esithi siuthembile. Uyena oqhashisayo imali yakuyi thina silambile nabantwana bethu. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much. My name is Busu Mchali. I'm one of the farm dwellers around the area. We have a number of complaints, but one of them from 2013, we've been complaining about a particular farm where about 865 cows were actually taken and given to a stranger who was from Empangeni. Yet the local people who live in the farm, who work the farm, who live in the area, don't benefit, yet there's so much poverty, there's so much hunger everywhere. Now, even our own department also has also brought another person all the way from Lime Hill in Ladysmith on a lease, on a so-called lease. And we question that how can you give someone a lease when there is labor tenants, there is people who are working in this farm, people are so hungry, and you give someone from another area into a lease that only profits that person, not the community that lives in and around that farm. And now we're in a position where even we don't know, we know where to go. We can't even trust our government any longer due to some mismanagement of funds, because it's government doing the leases and it's government collecting the money, taking the profits. So due to this mismanagement and corruption, we actually don't know where to go now.
Sanibonani, igama nguPhumlane Kabindi, ngivela kuzo lezi zamaplazi. Thina ke singabanye abathengelwa amaplazi. Bese ngidlulisa nje ukubonga kwesihlalo lapha etafuleni ababuye eParliament ngokuthi thina singabanye abathengelwa iplazi. Ziningi ke inkinga ke sizizwa sebeyibekile abantu ngamaplazi. Kodwa ke sidlulisela kini, siyabonga namhlanje ukunibona ngamehlo, singaphelile edandi kuphela nabo banathi nabo sifike sibike ikhalo zethu bese beshoke nabo ukuthi cha lezo khalo sizoke siyithumele phambili nathi leze nikhala ngazo ayisengangathi ke leze nisitshela zona. Sibonge ke abantu baseParliament ukuba lokhu enizokuthatha namhlanje okukhulunywa yithina la kungabe ukuba nincenga amavoti ngoba nakho sesiyabona sesiphikelele kuphi. Sicela nikuthathe kube yiqiniso lokho esikushoyo ngoba ngempela abantu emaplazini bahlukumezekile kakhulu. Kukhonakala ukuthi ke thina ke lo ubaba lo sasikelwa kuyiplaza cha sibambisene naye kahle kakhulu. Yonke into siyanikezana futhi nesikhalo siyasizana ukuthi makhona esikufunayo siyakhona ukukhala kuye sithi sinenkinga ngento enje athi phumani kanje. Okunye ke bengicela ukukubuza kini kweParliament, ukhongolo sewasithengela amaplazi kodwa futhi kunezimali esiyikhiphayo ekuthiwa sibhadala sikweleta amaplazi kufuneka sibhadale inyanga nenyanga. Lezo mali ke asazi ukuthi siyibhadala ngandlelani ngoba phela sathengelwa kwathiwa asiphile sizama ukuyiphilisa ngoba phela nabantu esihleli nabo emaplazini abantu bakudala, kunabantu abaphila ngempesheni kodwa umuntu uzubuhlungu mase sizomkolekisa le mali yempesheni ukuthi iplazi liyakweleta gogo sicela ukuyokhokhela iplazi lapha na Endumeni eDandi bathi sikweleta imali engaka incwadi ifikile. Sesibuza ninako ukuthi ke ngoba yini esibhekene nani ukuthi lezo mali seyisuka seziyaphi manje ngoba sathengelwa iplazi. Futhi ke ngoba sijabula futhi ngoba nifikile ake nisukumele kube nomuntu nje eParliament obhekene nabamaplazi. Hayi umeeting wethu uthola ukuthi sihlangene nabasedanda abantu abahlala kamnandi abafudumele banogesi banemgwaqo banezikolo yonke into banayo. Thina bamaplazi nje ngoba sila ayisinenkinga enkulu emaplazini sacela impela ukuthi ke nisiphakamele. Ngiyabonga.
Greetings. My name is Phumlane Kabinde. I am one of the farmers. There is a farm that was bought for us, and I really thank the chairperson that that farm was bought for us. Many people have voiced their problems, and I'm very happy to see you here today face to face so that I can complain and that you can take our complaints forward. Thank you so much for taking and listening to our views. And I hope that you're not doing this just to get our votes because we know that we are heading to elections. Please listen and consider all of our views because people have real problems in farms. In our farm though, I must state that we have very good working relations with the other person that we share the farm with. When we have issues, we speak to him. If we have problems, he helps us out. So we do not have issues in our farm. However, there is a certain fee that we have been asked to pay, and we don't understand why we should pay a fee now, because the land was bought on our behalf so that we can be able to make means of survival. I really don't understand why we receive documents from Endumeni in Dundee saying that we have to pay a certain money. What is that money for? We need someone who can represent us in parliament as farm dwellers or farm workers, as farmers. We need people to represent us there. Thank you.
Bonani izikhulu zethu zasephalamende okhulumayo usibongile Sikhakhane oqhamuka kwi-local yaseDanhauser under uMajuba district orepresenta abahlali basemaplazini. Sathengelwa umhlaba ngo-2013, umhlaba owu-4,300 hectares. Kodwa-ke lo mhlaba wethu udivayideka kawu-2, khona ama-farms awela ku-Danhauser Municipality, amanye awela ku-Endumeni Municipality. Okubuhlungu ukuthi ngekhathi sithengelwa lamaplaza, umnyango awuzange wenze isiqiniseko sokuthi kulama beneficiaries ozowathengela umhlaba. Uyawubiza umnyango waka-agriculture, waka DMR, wama minerals neminye, ukuze uma usinikeza umhlaba sibe siyaqonda siyazi futhi ukuthi sisizakala kanjani kuphi. Lama hectares kangaka wathengwa ngo-40 million, njengamanje awenzi lutho. Uqashiselwe abelungu ababekade beyo-owner ngoba asinikwanga ngisho ugandaganda wodwa lo owodwa kulama hectares. Nokhono ugandaganda osesiuthengile ngoba sithatha imali yama-lease agreements alabelungu siyayibhenka siphinde siyothenga iy'nsiza kusebenza. Angikhulumi kokufuya. Ngidlule lapho kubantu esihlala nabo eduzane kwethu, cishe kune trust enye ebizwa ngo-long lands ne-CPA ebizwa ngizoyikhumbula khona manje. Kunama infights ngaphakathi. Siyacela ukuthi uhulumeni wethu ANC esiwuthandayo, futhi ngihlala ngisho ngithi ngiyohlala nginivotela ngiyanithanda ngiyiboni ngikwelinye iqembu. Sicela ukuthi nilandelele mase niwuthengile umhlaba. Nibone ukuthi lokhu okuyi-purpose kuyenzeka yini, bayasizakala yini abantu abangaphakathi, ngoba umuntu oqhamuka ngaphandle uyibone nama-rights ukudlula i-labor tenant eyahlala la yabekezela. Ayiqhubuluza isenkantolo, athatha abameli ngobe nemali bengafundile, asho khona ukuthi anginazi owethu umhlaba nikhe listini. Kungesili iphutha labantu abasuke behlele emaplazini, kuyiphutha lama officials aqashwe yilo hulumeni wethu ukuthi awusize thina abantu. Bathi bayabafaka bonke abantu kuyilist, uthola ukuthi ababafaki ngendlela efanelekile. Siyakubonga okwenzekayo, sawusupporta lo mthetho ukuthi kuthathwe umhlaba ngaphandle kwesiqephezelo, kodwa futhi hulumeni kubhekisisa ukuthi before u-apply laba bantu abamnyama bayithina ngempela niyabalekelela yini ngolwazi, ngoba uzogcina uthathwa amaqili futhi nawo lo mhlaba ungayi kulabantu okufanele babenefithe ngawo. Ngoba nje abelungu mawubabuka ududulayo wamasimo abawulimayo manje sibevele bahlangane ndawonye balime ukuze so convince ukuthi hayi baboost i-economy yethu kwathini. Yet abantu enibathengele amaplaza anikaze nabanceda ngalutho lokubahlanganisa neminyango efanelekile.
Thank you so much. My name is Bongile Sikhakhane. I am from Amajuba district. I also represent farm dwellers. Well, in greetings to our leadership present. In 2013, government bought for us 4,300 hectares of land, of which we did not know at the time that is actually split into two. Half of it belongs to, is under Danhauser Municipality, whereas half of it is under Dundee Municipality. Government invested hoping 40 million rands into this project, but I'm sad to report that we are not working the land is not working to our profit. Instead, we leased it back to people that sold the farm, because there is no cohesion and coherence and joining of forces between departments, that when you get the farm, you are told where to go to find whatever support and whatever need just to get you off the ground and to keep it going. So this investment is not actually profitable at this point, because the same people who sold have leased it back. And there is also a trust in the area and a co-op in the area that could help with the running and the administration of farms like this. But there is a lot of infighting, a lot of commotion there, that we here request intervention from our government. We also request follow-ups, that as soon as a farm has been bought, we need to follow up as government on the beneficiation of the community. Number two, on whether is the farm profitable, is productive, is business as usual continuing to happen in that area. And another point is the labor tenants. The labor tenants are being tormented in the farm there. They are being tossed to and fro by the new administrators or people that are leasing, who have signed some agreements with some governments. They tell you straight in your face, we don't know you, I've got no business with you. If you have some challenges, they drag you to court. They know you don't have money to get the fair legal representation and so on and so forth. So please just pay attention to such. We hereby supporting the expropriation of land without compensation. And the issue of beneficiaries. When beneficiaries of a farm have received the farm, we seek empowerment of knowledge. People should be assisted with knowledge and the know-how, how to run those farms and make them profitable. Thank you.
Angibonge, ngibingelele iParliament likhona ngaphambi kwethu isithunywa. Ngibingelele nosodolopha wala Endumeni. Igama lami nguLungisandlovu. Ngimele abahlali baseMnewdeni ngaphansi komasipala waseMvoti kuyo le district yaseMzinyathi. Kafishane nje mhlambe singakusho ukuthi thina njengabantu abasuka ngala eMnewdeni ngaphansi komvoti, umhlaba omningi usuthengiwe. Mncane kakhulu ongakathengwa. Kodwa ingxaki ekhona ukuthi uhulumeni utheme uthenga wasewushiya kanjalo. Akaze alandelele ukuthi labantu laba bathengela lo mhlaba baqeqeshwe ngokwaneleni ukuthi bengakwazi ukuphila ngawo lo mhlaba. So indapha umhlaba ususela usunjalo sekuba nokungaboni ngasolinye phakathi kwabantu. Ngenxa ukuthi jike sekuba nokuba uyavandalizeka umhlaba ngaleso sikhathi. Isizathu salokho ukuthi abantu abafundisiwe ukuthi uphatha kanjani. Sifisa ke thina ukuthi mhlambe uma uthi uhulumeni usethenga umhlaba nakulaka seyithengile kubo nento ethi mhlambe abantu banika 5 years ukuthi bephile nalomhlaba, bese kuba nethunya ezilezibheke ukuthi ngabe bayakwazini ukuphatha ngalendlela ofanele bewuphathe ngayo. Uma kungalungi kuba ukuthi uhulumeni uyaphinda uyabuya uyawuthatha lo mhlaba, useletha kabantu abangakwazi ukuthi bekwazi ukuthi bewusebenze lo mhlaba befundise labantu, aphinde futhi asinike elinye ithuba lokuthi sibone ukuthi kwenziwa njani, ngoba lo mhlaba unomnotho futhi wona uzosiphilisa njengoba imisebenzi ingekho. So siyafisa ukuthi uhulumeni afika uthatha umhlaba abanika abantu bewusebenze bewubuye ubuke ukuthi basaqhubha ngendlelani, ngoba sineyindawo eziningi engaphelisa abantu, sineziqiwi, sineyindawo zokulima nezokutshala. Enye into esifisayo njengoba sikhuluma lento yomhlaba, siyafisa ukuthi angathi ingalungiswa lento ukuthi ebe khona uMEC kuma provinces, ngoba lolu daba luthinta umhlaba lubucayi kakhulu. Uagriculture uyahluleka ukusilekelela uma kuzwe into enokuthengwa komhlaba nokulungiswa komhlaba, ugcina usuthi wona awukwazi ukukhuluma lolu daba lokubuyiswa komhlaba okwabo ukulekelela entweni esikhona. So kubalekile ukuthi ngibhekisise lento ukuthi lo mnyango lo uthi into zomhlaba ube khona kuma provinces, kungamane kube khona eminye ehlanganiswayo ukuze uma kubonakala uhlambe kuzoba sekuba nokushayisana. Enye into ekhona ile ethi khona i-labor tenant ne-restitution. Ifika ishayisane-ke la uthola ukuthi kunabantu abahamba ngesikhathi behlukumezeka amabhunu bahamba bafuduka bakwezinye indawo basala laba babebekezele kusenzima. Uma usubuya umhlaba ubuyela labantu laba babizwa ngama-labor tenant, sekubuya laba abantu abama-restitution sebethi ayikwaku indawo yokhokho bethu le. Sekuyaxatshana-ke lapho sifisa uhulumeni eyibukisise kahle le ngoba nakumnyango ibukwazi ukuthi iminyango ehlukahlukene. Business plan. Siyafisa ukuthi uhulumeni sihleke.
Thank you. I greet the Parliament and I greet our Mayor. My name is Lungisani Ndlovu. I am from Endumeni community and I am from Umvoti Municipality, which falls under Umzinyathi District Municipality. There has been a lot of land which was bought by the government, but the government never followed up. They never trained people so that they can know how to make a living from the land. As a result, there are many problems and conflicts on land issues. There is also vandalism of the land because of lack of training. If the government were to buy the land, I think it would be better if the government would give people 5 years to use the land or to manage the land. And then after that 5 years, the government would then examine to see where they were able to manage the land. If they failed, the government can take the land back and then give other people an opportunity to manage the very same land so that those who had failed previously can watch and see how the work is done. Then only can they be able to get the land back. Land contributes to the economy of the country. Where I come from, we have game reserves, and we do farming, we also do crop farming. Agriculture, the Department of Agriculture is unable to help us on land matters. They say they are only able to help you with regards to what you already have. So I think it would be much better if the land department will be available in all provinces. There is also another issue of land tenants versus those who fall under the restitution of land. The people who fall under the restitution left the land, they moved away because they couldn't bear the abuse. Now, when the tenants are able to get the land, those who had left, they come back now and also want to have this land. I would also like to make a comment on the business plan, but the time was up. Thank you.
Sanibona. Ngisukuma nokubingelela iParliament elifike lapha eDandi. NgoNtshangase eKhansane Farm eWard 6. Nami ngizobeka la eParliament insiza kusebenza eWard 6 eplazini. Sikhala ngocingo, sikhala ngamanzi, sikhala ngogesi. Sikhala impela eParliament ngoba kudala sifike kumakhansela, amakhansela wasinaka amakhansela. Ala kule iParliament ke lisize nokulima asilima nansiza kusebenza. Ingozo kubiya amasimu azikho sathengela iplaza umhlaba onganalutho nje. Amawethu mili awana manje. Bela ke iParliament lisize eKhansane World 6. Bela iParliament lisize iParliament ngamakhansela eThayidandi lawa asinaka amakhansela eThayidandi. Amanzi amathangi afika ngenyanga entathu alethe amathangi emadojweni. So umphakathi ukuphela ukuthi nya emphakathini. Ngiyacela ke iParliament lisize lapho ngoNtshangase eKhansane ngiyabonga. Anginawo amaningi.
Thank you so much. I am Mr. Nchangase. I am from Ward 4. Mine is just short and quick. We just need Parliament to intervene with fencing. A farm has been bought for us, but it's exposed. There is no fence. We don't have money for fencing. We don't have water. We don't have electricity. We have reported this numerous times to our local councillors, but we find no help there. It's falling on deaf ears. Windmills have no water. We are therefore imploring our Parliament present today, please assist us. Water would only be delivered once in 3 months, and then how do we actually, make ourselves sustainable without this infrastructure? So we just requesting infrastructure intervention. Thank you.
Qala ngokubingelela izikhulu zami utholakele emtshali endaweni yangapha eNtibane ngako Blood River Monument. Singabantu abake bathengelwa iplazi uhulumeni, kodwa umnyango kahulumeni wahlanganisa amaplazi aze aba yi3 kule kuma ebhalisa lapho. Eningxaki esinayo kuyaliwa laphana, besingacela abasemnyangweni basixazululele leyo nkinga ngoba siyalwa thina singabahlali laphayana ngomakhelwana siyo yonke into, kodwa manje siyalwa ngenxa ukuthi abantu ababhalisa ezemhlaba basihlanganisa abasakhona ukusixazulula. Uhlula njani ukwenza into oyenze wena? Uhlula njani ukuthi busuyihlula ngendlela efanele ngayo ubuyenze wena? Sike saya ngunyaka kupheleyo saya la eMnambi eMaritzburg, safika khona salibeka nalo, hayi ukuthi besiqala ukuya kudala siqalile ukuhamba. Siya lapho ukhale ukuba nekhala sisicela nisixazululele le ndaba yalamaplazi la sikwazi ukuthi sibone ukuthi thina ke njengabahlali manje sesizoyimisa njani into yethu. Basithembisa ukuthi uhulumeni uthi usezondonethela iplazi. Nakho ke seqala lento yecorona ke kwabe kuphelile. Angazi noma ngasho ini ngoba phela lento isiphethe kabuhlungu. Thina saqala ukubhaliswa kweyandawo kwakungu uThemsile kwaba ngithandeka. Asamazi nangokhala uThandeka Nkosi kulanda ukuthi azosixazululela phela inkinga asifaka kuyo. Ngoba phela asisifakanga thina kule ngxaki yokuthi silwe sodwa, safakwa ngabo. Siyanicela baphathi bethu ukuthi mase nithengile noma mhlawumbe sekulungisekile indaba amaplaza, ake nisilandelele, nilandelela abasebenzi benu kwezi izindawo ezincinci bakuzo. Njengalapha eMnambithi nalapha eMaritzburg ke nilandelela ukuthi izinto bazenza ngendlela eyiyo yini. Thina sinengxaki yokuthi zesithi thina kusho ukuthi abantu abaholelwa yini kwaHulumeni. Ene le ndawo engikhuluma ngayo ibhunu okuyilona besingenansiza, kukhona ibhunu siliqashisile namanje lona inkomo zalo ziyadla endaweni. Uma sibuza zidla kanjani ezakhe inkomo ngoba kuthi uHulumeni wathi akume yonke into usalungisa na. Athi uHulumeni uthe angiligade. Ligadwa njani iplaza umuntu lithengwe kwabanye bakubo? Uthi uligadile ziyadla inkomo zakhe kuyo le ndawo le. Thina ezethu azidli zifa nawe ndeni inkomo esinazo thina endaweni. Sicela ukuthi nisisize, nisilungisele futhi sicela ukuthi nabantu bakithi abamhlophe basithathe njengawo wonke umuntu. Noma ngabe imiqondo yethu mhlambe babona ngathi blind inyana, nathi noma sibahloniphe kakhulu. Yazi mangasho into ukuthi angisiqedanga isikole ngenxa yokujaha ukuyongena pha emaplazini. Kodwa namhlanje futhi sisesencindezini yabo. Siyanicela bantakwethu nilandelele lapha eMnambithi nalapha eMaritzburg ukuthi zikhiphana. Thina sifuna ukuthi sihlale ngokukhululeka nomakhelwane bethu ezindaweni esithengelwe zona okanye esesizibangayo. Siyabanga bantakwethu, siyanicela kakhulu, ngiyabonga.
I greet the honorables. My name is Tholakele Mjali. I am from the Blood River Monument. The government bought land for us, but there are issues because they combined us in 3 farms. So 3 farms were combined. As a result, there are fights within us in the community. This land was bought for us, but then now there are issues with regards to ownership of this land. We went to Pietermaritzburg, and it was not the first time that we went there. The issue has not been resolved. This issue is within the community, and we are neighbors, we are community members, but now we are fighting because of this matter. The government promised to donate a farm to us. Then Corona began, and that was it. Nothing happened after that. We knew that we were being served by Tembisile, and then it was Tandega. Now, we do not know where this Tandega is. She is the one who caused this problem after buying the land, or who caused this problem, but then she never resolved it. After buying the land, we request that the government does a follow-up. It would be better if they could follow up and go to areas such as Lady Smith and even Peter Maritzburg and the officers to see where they are able to do their work properly. There is a previous farmer who owned that farm that was bought for us, but now we see his cattle grazing in the very same farm that was bought from him or her. It was bought. But then now when we question him or her about this, they tell us that they are just guarding the land. But we see the cattle grazing there. Our cattle are starving. We request that white people, please, could you regard us as ordinary citizens as well? As much as we are uneducated, I was unable to complete school, but I am still a person. We still face suppression from the white people. Thank you.
Ngizaqala ngibingelela izishayamthetho, ngibingelela osodolobha bonke, ngibingelela osomaplaza esingabo namhlanje. Ngizoqala ngokubonga kwizishayamthetho ngokuthatha isikhathi sazo zidilike le phezulu eParliament zize lana phakathi kithi zizolalela lokhu okuyizikhalo kithi noma okuyizicelo esinazo. Siyakubonga lokho. Thina mina igama lami ngoSiniphiwe wakaNkosi, ngiqhamuka endaweni yaseGraswell Farm, umthetho ofanayo ingaphansi kaWard 6. Ngizoqala nje ngokubonga futhi ngivumelane nomthetho obekiwe noma osushayiwe wokubuyiselwa kwamaplazi kubantu. Thina singabanye babantu uhulumeni asithengela iplazi eminyakeni eyilishumi endlule. Siyakubonga lokho. Kodwa besicela lapha ukuthi esasithengelile uhulumeni nabanye ozakuthi bakhona asebephakamile basho ukuthi bathengeliwe iplaza. Ngeke bebuye bezobheka ukuthi la maplazi ngoba esethengiwe ngabe asebenza ngokungakho yini. Bebuye bezobheka ukuthi kulabantu engibathengele lo mhlaba banawoni inzuzo abayenzayo ngalowo mhlaba. Ziningi ingqinamba esibhekana nazo ngaphakathi kwamaplazi. Njengokuqala nje uhulumeni ngonyaka ka2011 uke wafika endaweni zasemakhaya wazothatha abantu wazobaqeqesha ezobaqeqeshela ukusebenza komhlaba. Ubathathile labo bantu bafike bafunda babuya bayithola lezo ziqu lezo babefunda Maritzburg. Babuya banazo iziqu. Umbuzo wami uthi bazozisebenzisa kanjani iziqu abanazo bengenazo izinsiza kusebenza na? Okwesithathu besicela ukuthi ephinde ebuyekeze ukusika kweindawo kwabantu abasebethengelwe indawo. Sicela phinde ebuye ezobuyekeza laba bathengelwe indawo ngale ko2007 ebuye ezobuyekeza ukuthi basikela ngokungakho yini ngoba kubukeka indawo zethu zincane kakhulu okudala ukuthi okuyimbangela ukuthi singakwazi ukulisebenzisa ngendlela indawo esinayo. Ungalima kanjani endaweni ohlala kuyo futhi leyo ndawo leyo kukhona imfuyo khona lapho endaweni encane ungasebenzisa kanjani isikho kancane ukuthi wenze izinto eziningi ngesikhathi esisodwa. Besicela nje ukuthi ishayamthetho nabezomhlaba ke behlangane ke bebuyekeze kubo bonke labasebethengelwe indawo bebuke ukuthi zasikeka ngendlela eyiyoni noma zikufanele ukuhlala abantu. Ipopulation yeindawo isiya ngokukhula manje. Indawo eyathe ngo2002 kwakukhona abantu ababebancane ngenxa ukuthi abanye basebehambile ngaleso sikhathi ngenxa ukuthi bafudulwa ngaleso sikhathi. Ngenxa ukuthi ipopulation sebebuyile isabafanele le ndawo abahlala kuyo ngaleso sikhathi. Ngabe isabanelisa basangakwazi ukwenza zonke lezo zinto kuleyo ndawo eyathe ngo2002 ngo2021 basakwazi ukwenza izinto okwakuyinjongo yokuthi bethengelwe iplaza ngo2000. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much. My name is Simpiwe Nkosi from Ward 6. I would like to greet our parliament, our mayor, and our farming community present today. Thank you so much to our parliament for coming to us today to consult with us, to hear our cries and our concerns. 10 years ago, a farm was bought for us. I'm one of the beneficiaries, and there's many of my colleagues here who have attested to that fact. But our request is simple. Would you please come back to check and verify, are those farms that you bought for us, are they achieving the original intent? Are those farms working productively and profitably for the beneficiaries? Because there is a lot of problem going on there. And in 2011, we appreciate the training that was done for some of our colleagues by government. It was done in Pietermaritzburg. But my question is just simple. How will they use their newly gained knowledge if they don't have the infrastructural support? Because we don't have the infrastructure in the farms that we have. And I recall that in 2007, there were demarcations of lands that were made, but we are requesting a review of those demarcations, because those demarcations, they limit our productivity, which is our fresh produce that we farm there in the land, because in the same farm where we are farming fresh produce, there is also livestock grazing the very same land. So it's actually not viable. I also note that in 2002, a land was bought for some people. I'm just drawing a scenario. A land could be bought by government, a farm could be bought by government in 2002, and there could be lesser population because some had left due to the atrocities of the farm owners, would leave to other places. When they hear that the farm is being bought by government for the people, when they come back, let government begin to compare the population in 2002 and the population in 2021. Is it still conducive? Is it still viable for all those people to be in that land due to numbers and growing populations? Thank you.
Ngiyabingelela iParliament. Igama lami nguVictoria ngwakwamlifi Sibonga. Nami ngiyawuseka umthetho obekiweyo. Ngiyabonga ukuthola leli thuba lokuthi nathi size sizobeka ukuhlupheka kwethu okuhluphekayo emaplazini. Sahleli ngaphansi komunye umlungu esahlela ukuye washiya eplazini esehamba wayishiya nephepha lokuthi sihambe siye eminyangweni siyobhalisa ukuze sithengelwe leli plaza esahleli kulo. Kusho ukuthi ngokungezwani kwabantu lagcina lidukile lelo phepha. Sahlala kulelo plaza kwangena omunye futhi omhlophe ohlala kulelo plaza akahlali kulo angazi noma uqashile noma ulinjani. Manje lo mlungu esihleli kuye usithethe kabuhlungu. Asihleli kahle. Singabahlali baseplazini siyahlukumezeka ngemfuyo yethu. Inokuhlala 2 weeks ingaphuzi singenamanzi. Esitshela ukuthi akuyona indawo yethu le. Masithi indawo yethu sashiwa umlungu athi akuyona indawo yethu asiye kulo hulumeni wethu. Lapha esihlala khona usikakalezile indawo encane asikhoni ngisho ukwakha. Lapha esihleli khona uthi noma uthi uyakha indlwanyana ephilayo kutshela ukuthi uswakha ithanol. Angiyazi nethanol ukuthi into enjani. Uyasihlukumeza lo yamlungu kangokuthi asazi ukuthi kumanje masifuna ukwakha sinabantwana sizele. Abantwana sebekhulile kufuneka bathole indawo bahlale asinayo indawo. Ngiyabonga.
I greet the Parliament. My name is Victoria Molefe. I'm here to support the bill. I thank you for the opportunity to state my issues as a person who lives in a farm. The previous farmer left and gave us a document so that we could go and register so that the land could be bought for us. But then while there were conflicts within us, the document that he gave us disappeared. Now, then we saw a new farmer, a new white farmer coming to take the land, and he happened to be leasing that land. Now, this new farmer is really suppressing us. our herd as well is unable to produce or to do well in that land. He keeps on telling us that the land does not belong to us. We are unable to build proper structures in that land. We are really being suppressed by this farmer. Our children have grown up now and they need land so they can build their own houses. Thank you.
Ngiyabingelela bonke abasendlini. Ngibingelele nabahleli lapha emsamo. Ngithi uNkulunkulu unisizile nifike. Ngoba kade le ndaba sihamba saze saya ngisho emsini. Siyofuna ukuzwa ukuthi kanti thina amaplaza ethu siyonikwa nini. Ngoba kudala sikhona lapha sikhuluma ngawo kodwa lokhu sigidiswa njengengane yona okuthiwa umama uyeza kodengezi singatholi lutho asilimi asidla amanzi angcolile asinagesi asinazindlu abantu abethu balambile kwathina silambile asinabayeni bethu baliklema lelizwe sebeze bahamba bonke emhlabeni basishiya kodwa iParliament ikhona emsamo lokhu kuthiwa kuzolunga kolunga nini musani kusikhohlisa ingane zakwethu ngoba nina nihleli kahle niyadla nengane zenu niyasutha thina sisuthi nengane zethu siyahlupheka asinabayeni akukho umsebenzi akukho lutho masiyontshweba sizobanjwa futhi kanti yini okufanele size siyenze bakwethu ngiyacela ngoba noma siza kulaba asicela kubo amakhansela sisingeniseni iminyango ukuthi sithole ukuthi silime sidle sifide ingane abasinaki fanele senze njani nina niyadla niyasutha eParliament ingane zenu zidle nihleli kweyibuka izindlu ezinto thina sihlele otshanini sihlele indongweni eyiwayo bakithi asifanene amagazethi ayafana sonke ayafana amagezi omhlophe nonjani nowadla iplaza lethu wasiqosha wathi asisuke wadla ehawukela inkomo kodwa sisizeni ngiyakhala mina khala kakhulu bafethu sisizeni ngoba nila dala sihamba iminyango sihamba lapha sithi sizobuya impendulo ngoba noma sikhona kodwa ngeke ibuye impendulo nifuna nisinvotele nina nihlale phezulu ezikhundleni ezinkulu kodwa thina singadli lutho akumnandi uthi wena ukudla nabantu abakho bebesutha kodwa omunye umuntu kodwa omphetheyo kuba nigwelela nivotelwa yibo bonke laba bantu kodwa bebehlupheka ngiyabonga.
I greet you all. I want to thank God for helping us. We have been traveling everywhere on the issue of farms. We've been applying for so long without any help. Our children are hungry. We are hungry. We are widows. Our husbands died waiting. We've been told help is coming. For so long, we are waiting. You in Parliament are living comfortably enough. We've got nothing. We need farms. We need to be able to feed ourselves, feed our families, feed our children. But we got no place. We got nothing. And we request that you please help us. You know, we vote for you time and again, and like people that are here, they are voting for you, but we are not voting for you just to live comfortably. We've been moving from pillar to post to different departments without any help. We are simply asking you, please help us. Thank you.
Ngibingelele amalungu eParliament nabahlonishwa no Deputy Mayor waseNdumeni. Lo khulumayo la uMoses Bhengmuzwa kwaMkhize. Ngizalelwe la eDande ngo1970. Ubaba wami wayesebenza la eOrange Grove Dairy. Bakwakusengwa ngezandla. Ilapha engazalela khona. Cishe eholeni kwami ngisebenza iplaza ngahola 5 rand ngenyanga.
Uxolo kancane. Ngicela ungikhumulele imask akuzwakali kahle.
NguMoses Bhengmuzwa kwaMkhize. Ngazalelwa la eDande ngo1970. Ubaba wami besebenza la eOrange Grove. wazi washona-ke ngesimo se-asthma esebenza la emaplazini naku-gravis emakhalathini kanjalo. Kusho ukuthi into engiyibonga kakhulu ngibonga ukuthi mhlawumbe uhulumeni ngelilanga unalo uzwela. Kodwa-ke nakuba efika late. Ngoba lo hulumeni wedemocracy ngo-1994 mina ngesikhathi ngijoyina umzabalazo kwezombusazwe before 1994 we are not aware ukuthi kuyohamba kuhambe kube nje ezweni lakithi. Namhlanje sinabantu abareceive ama-350 kuthiwa basurvive ngo-350 state of i-COVID-19. Is a painful for youth, is a painful for future country, beautiful country, mineral and gold and everything what you can think about. Every people coming from South African continent, they're coming here in South Africa because they believe South Africa has got a good constitution, good manner and respect the dignity of the people. What Mandela said when he was out in prison on 2 o'clock before 1990. I'm not saying I'm a member of the ANC. I'm a member of the democratic government. Doesn't matter which organization leading now, but I'm a member of the democratic. Ngifuna ukusho ukuthi bahlonishwa. Uhulumeni akasukudlala ngathi. The government, they mustn't play with us. Because end of the day, this is going to cause the civic war between black and white. It's a pity ukuthi ngikusho lokho. Yabona le ndaba leyo yokubuyiswa komhlaba. Isikhulunywe more than 24 years. Kukhona lento lena kwakuthiwa willing buyer, willing seller. Esingazi ukuthi njoba sen implementa usection 25. Lama qemba lapha eParliament angahambisani namanye no section 25 kuzothatha iminyaka emingaki ukuthi lo section 25 to be complied. So umbono wethu njengabantu abahamba lapha phansi ubuthi ukuba nina nenza into eyodwa ngoba since 1994 uANC ubeba i-ruling party until today ruling party. What is it difficult to the ruling party to convince the other parties to implement the section 25, at least to do a referendum, take the people's voices?
I greet parliaments, the members of parliaments. Sorry, Putikama. Okay, yes. I greet the members of parliament. My name is Moses Mkhize. I was born here in 1970, and my father died working here at Orange Grove. He died from asthma. I thank the government for coming here to listen to us. Before 1994, I joined the struggle, but I didn't know that one day we would find ourselves in this position where we are asked to survive with a mere 350 rands in this beautiful country that is filled with minerals. The next portion was in English, and then he converted back to isiZulu. Honorable members of government, you must not mess around with us because this will eventually cause a war between the blacks and the whites. The next portion was in English, and then the next parts, which I will interpret now, was in isiZulu. We've been speaking about the land issue now for more than 24 years. There is a need to amend Section 25, but there are members of parliament who are against this. Now, the ANC has been the ruling party since 1994. I do not understand why is it so difficult for the ANC to convince other members so that Section 25 can be amended. Thank you.
Greeting you all, my mayor. My name is Bosi Sombata, coming from Glen Coast Tembele, the small ward, Lucky. Our councillor is mayor. I'm glad. Okay.
Start a couple of volume of it.
Okay. Can I start again? All right. Okay. I didn't get my time to read about this bill, but what I have quoted, I'm not supporting it. This bill does not address what will happen to the land once it's been expropriated. What about my rights as an individual? how I will benefit as an ordinary citizen. Thank you.
To you all, I'm Wandile. I represent Democratic Alliance at Endumeni. This bill does not guarantee the protection of jobs for people employed on the properties to be expropriated. So therefore, I cannot support the bill that is putting to risk the jobs of other people. Thank you.
Greetings to you all. My name is Melo Shamaloyi. I represent Democratic Alliance in Endumeni Municipality. Legislated section 12 of 3, which speaks to null compensation, refers to the 5 circumstances listed from A to E, but goes further to say, but not limited to. We believe that this opens the door to an unlimited list of circumstances where null compensation could be offered. Thank you.
Sanibona Parliamente lihle ngokukhulu ukubingelela nangenhlonipho. Ayilapha nginenkinga nempela inkinga yami ube ngoba kunendawo la emalonjeni kusho ukuthi le ndawo ingaphansi komlungu. Umlungu owayeyiphethe le ndawo usashona kodwa esashona nje unomlungu oyisisebenzi. Lapha kunamangcwaba ogogo, kunamangcwabo oma lapha emalonjeni. Manje kule ndawo lena ngoba silapha nje kunenkinga usibari ade sebenza khona eplazini sikhulele khona eplazini waxabana lo mlungu uthe jika wanixoshisa kwethu.
Uqolo baba ukathi ungasondela embhojeni ukuze sikuzwe kancane.
Oh kuthe ukuhamba kwesikhathi ke lo mlungu oqhashiwe isiqhashwa ayiqhashwe lo mlungu. Ngicela ukubingelela iParliament lilonke nomphakathi. Nguvika Patrick kwaMthethwa emalonjeni nginzalo yakhona. Amangcwaba obaba ale ko Top Rank Mountain kodwa awogogo nawo abazali bami ngane zo auntie alapha emalonjeni nawo ma. Lapha emalonjeni sizakhamisi sazalelwa khona obaba bathathwa yibo ke abelungu babasali. Lapha kwaze kwasala usibari lapha eplazini uthenga ukufika kwalo waseshona umlungu ophethe indawo owayithakethele indawo ekhipha obaba wafaka kwasala isisebenzi lesisebenzi nasele sasesiphambana nosibari kusho ukuthi samxosha sithi simxosha impela ukuthi akaphume yalo 8 eplazini ehampela ayusibari ngokubona ukuthi hayi khona phela lo akusuye kuyena akangiqhasha mina wanginika indawo athi angihlali lapha kodwa manje lo usethi angisuke kiyo le ndawo futhi enganginikwe umnikazi wale ndawo eyithathe kubani. Lapha sinogogo uma wami wangcwatshelwa lapha. Alright, mina ngokusebenza ngikhambe ngisebenzela nginodadewethu babili. Lo mdala ugane yena lo sibari engikhuluma ngayo. Ukuhamba ngisebenzela ayinami ngokubona ukuthi ayikhona. Mangizwa kuhlongozwa ngalezi indaba zokuthi hayi engathi kufanele ukuthi indawo zobaba ibuyele kobaba. Ngibuyele nganeno, ngibuya koGoli ngibuyele nganeno bese ngithi ugqumeka la kule ndawo kuthiwa kuseStraton Farm la enkosini uSithole. Hayi ngokubona nakhona ukuthi isimo asikho hayi bese ngisuka ngiyalika emalonjeni hayi nangifika ngihlale kwaSibari bese ethi uSibari hayi no Sibari uyabona ukuhlala kanje akusizi ungcono uthi uvuse ikhalo gogo ngoba vele la asazi Sibari ukuthi uthini benodadewethu bobonisana hayi nangempela ngigqumeke ngigawule ngisike utshani ngakhe ngigqumekile nje manje hayi oh busuSibari besuka abashana abazala udadewethu akanye Sibari hayi bebona ukuthi hayi lenhlalo engathi ayilungi lokungcono azizami ukuyoklema le ndawo kukazi thola ukulekeleleka behambe bekleme iLindafesi manje ngokuhamba kancane kwendawo akukho uphumelela akukho kuya phambili khamba nje kancane ey ngokujabula ke nami ngelanga namhlanje ngokubona ukuthi awunali iParliament seliseduze ngoba phela namajubane okuyofika kule minyaka engathi iphezulu awekho mafishane ngokujabula ukuthi ayinali seliseduze iParliament ayi ngiyacela ngajabula kakhulu impela nisilekelele kulokho nisilekelele kakhulu ekubambisane nohulumeni ukuthi akasibuyisele indawo zobaba ngiyabonga
Uxolo baba usuka emabomvini noma emalojini. Thank you. My name is Patrick Mteto from Emalonjini. Greetings, Parliament. Want to talk about an owner, a farmer that passed on. He passed on and left someone that used to work in the farm, to be like the caretaker of the farm. Now, the issue is that our generations are buried in that place, Emalojin. Now that the owner is gone, my brother-in-law, who's married to my sister, who stays there, I was working elsewhere, had a fight with this new owner, with this new caretaker. And he tried to send him out of the farm, but he realized that no, this is not the person who contracted me and gave me land to build initially, so he refused. And then my brother-in-law approached me that I should probably come back and occupy my father's place, and I've done so already. And my brother-in-law suggested, why don't we apply for this farm now that government is assisting with the buying of farms? So we have done so, but there's not been any progress up to now. So I am very excited that Parliament is here today, and I therefore tabulate our request. Please help us in our farm. We've applied, but we don't know what is going on. Yeah, in a nutshell, that's just about it. Thank you.
Sanibonani. Ngusicelo ngokamfusi Sibongo eNomandeni ngaphansi kweDanhausa. Ngiyakhala kakhulu ngomhlaba kakhulu ngapha ngakithi. Ngiyakhala kakhulu ngomhlaba kakhulu ngapha ngakithi eNomondiya. Kunomlungu ohlukumeza abantu lapho wafika walima okuthiwa uAntoni Peter wafika walima isiganga. Manje indlela ebesikhaya kuyo bekhanjwa kuyo asisakwazi ukuya kuyo. Yimbuzi zabantu uyayibopha yonke into uyayibopha. Namaphoyisa awakhona ukumbopha asayida naye. Manje inkinga enkulu siyalibona iParliament lila phambi kwethu likhulu impela lila phambi kwethu. Inkinga kakhulukazi labelungu abasihlukumezayo abekho la. Labelungu abasihlukumezayo abekho la. Ubani ozokwazi ukuhambisa imlayezo kulabelungu le ukuthi bekade kuthiwani ngoba abelungu kancancane bahlumeza thina njalo khandwa amakomiti abelungu bebhizi behlumeza thina khandwa amakomiti abelungu bahlumeza thina abelungu sesikhathele yeba ngazi siubenze njani ngiyabonga.
I greet you all. My name is Cele Mofe. I'm from Danhausa. I'm here to complain about the land issue. There is a farmer, Anton Peter, and we have a problem with regards to that farm. We are unable to go there because he keeps on taking our property. It could be goats, he keeps on taking all of them and dispossessing us of that property. The problem is that the police, they keep on supporting him, they're siding with him, so we are not able to get help. The people who can help us do not live in this area. They keep on forming committees to resolve this issue, but nothing results from that. So we have this serious issue and we need help. Thank you.
Ngiyanibingelela
bonke abaphathi bethu. Ngiyababingelela bonke abaphathi bethu egameni lenkosi yethu Jesu Kristu. Amen. Ngiyacela abantu ngisho into ehlukile. Ngathola i-voucher ngangiclaimele umhlaba waseGlenco elokhuzeni oyi-10. Ngayithola i-voucher bayinika omunye. Uma ngifika ngibuza kwathiwa loyo oyithathile ulethe ama-document. Mangiwacela ama-document ukuthi utheni kuze bamnike bangafuni ukunginikeza. Sengiphume eMaritzburg ngihlale eMaritzburg ngaqala kwabaphethe phezulu obabu uSlawuli obabumbili bayalwazi udaba lami kodwa ngisizakala kusukela ngo-2007. Ngizocela ukwazi ukuthi sekufanele ngenze njani ngoba igama lomuntu owathatha imali yami banginikeza kodwa bafuna ukulandela udaba lami. Ilokho nje bengicela ukukubuza ukuthi ikuphi okufanele ngikwenze kusukela manje ngoba kusukela ngo-2007 i-voucher yaphuma kuze kube manje angikaze ngiyithole kodwa umuntu owayithatha bayangitshela ukuthi ubani kodwa bamlandeli abenzi lutho. oSlawuli u-advocate umbili uyayazi indaba yonke njengoba injalo. Manje iMaritzburg nje akukho la ingisize khona. Iyo le ndaba sengithi ngcono ngize ngizoza ukuthi ikuphi okufanele ngikwenze. Ngibonga ukuthi iParliament ikwazile ukuthi izifike izwe izikhalo zethu.
Suqedile ma. Igama ubani igama nesibongo. My name is Togo Cynthia Ndebele. Greetings to our leadership in the name of our Lord. Mine is a little bit different. I got a voucher, the land claim voucher, but when I came to collect, I was told that somebody came before me to collect and that person had documents. Now, what frustrates me is that the name of the person is known, but there is nothing that's done to claim or to any punitive measures to follow up on that person who fraudulently claimed on my behalf without my authority and without me knowing. So I've been everywhere in Pietermaritzburg. I'm told money was collected, and I'm hereby requesting this Parliament therefore to please assist, and because the name is known, but I've been everywhere and without any success. Thank you so much.
Sanibona nonke nabaphathi bakahulumeni laba bazozwa lolu cwaningo luka section 25. Ngiyaweseka kakhulu mina ukuamendwa ka section 25. Isizathu esidala lokhu yingoba izigidi ngezigidi zabantu ikakhulukazi laba abamnyama banawo umhlaba la eSouth Africa. Umhlaba babe nawo badudulwa ngenkani eindaweni zabo. Basuswa manje mase befuna ukuthi babuyisele indawo zabo. Sekufuneka ukuthi kukhokhwe imali ngumhlaba ongazange ukhokhelwe imali ngalesikhathi bephucwa wona. Kuma nje ngomunye wabantu abafaka iclaim. Le claim isiqede cishe 22 years uma ngingaphazami. Yafakwa ukuba bese khona kuze kube manje. Khulunywa lokho namhla kukhulunywe lokho kusasa kukhulunywe lokho. Into engakaphumeleli. Waqala kuseyile isikhathi so willing seller no willing buyer what. Akekho umuntu oyimisele ngokudayisa umhlaba. Lo mhlaba aye uthole ngendluzula wakhipha abantu kuwo wadudula ngenkani. Namhlanje uma uzobika lolo daba sekufuneka uze nenqwaba yamaphepha. Ngikhuluma even namanje kusekhona abantu abasaxoshwa endaweni la behlala khona. Abanye bavumeleke ukuthi mabafuye. Batshelwa ukuthi kufuneka kube nenkomo ezinhlanu, kufuneka kube nenkomo ezingaka. Uzophila kanjani ngoba umhlaba nje basifuna umhlaba nje iyona ndlela esiyiphilisa ngayo. Ukulima, ukufuya yini. yonke lento siyenza emhlabeni. Uma umhlaba uphucwa umhlaba uzophila kanjani? So ibhlungu lento ngoba uthola ukuthi kunezikhulu zikahulumeni ezinikezwa amandla ukuthi ayisebenze lolu daba lokubuyiselwa kumhlaba kubanikazi bawo. Bese behlangana nalabo abasuke bephethe umhlaba ngaleso sikhathi. Ngani? Ngoba baphethe imali. Babafumbathisa imali. Lama allegations engiwakhulumayo angeke ngisho ukuthi usibanibani nosibanibani onesifiso sokuthi angafuna ukuyilandelela lento. Angeza ngimkhombe ngithi la nje kuma ngikhuluma ngale claim ngikhuluma ngento engiyaziyo enginobufakazi ngayo kodwa engeke ngiyidalule esilangaleni kanje. So ke izinto ezibhlungu yilezo ngoba kufike kube khona abantu abanikezwayo amandla ukuthi mabasize bese besebenzisa lamandla ngendlela engafanele. So ke usection 25 lo ngiyusekela ngokuphinda phindiwe mina. Kodwa uma ngempela uzosetshenziswa ukuthi makuthatha umhlaba ubuyiselwe kulabo abangenawo umhlaba ngoba uma uphuma nje la ubheke eThekwini uphume la ubheke eGoli uzohamba emhlabeni wabantu bebale elithile uze uyofika eThekwini noma uze uyofika eGoli. And then bese uyibuza ukuthi inkululeko yini le okukhulunywa ngayo uma kuthiwa sikhululekile kodwa umhlaba sibe singenawo. Yilokho ngiyabonga.
I greet you all. I support the amendment of Section 25 because the land was taken forcefully from the owners. But now, when people want the land back, they speak about compensation, whereas no compensation was paid when the land was taken. There is a claim that was filed 22 years ago, and we're still going back and forth. There have been no positive results. The matter has not been finalized. When we applied for that land claim, it was still during the time of the willing buyer, willing seller, and no one was willing to sell the land. The land was taken forcefully from the people. But now, if you go and claim for that land, they ask you to provide lots and lots of documents that you do not have. Now, if you have cattle and you want to have more than 5, you are restricted. You cannot have as much cattle as you would like in a farm where we live. Now, I would like to know what is expected of us. How can we live if we do not have land? Because all we do is to farm. We only know that we should farm and get food through farming, but now we do not have the land. Another issue is that the government officials who have been given the task of returning land to the people are colluding with farmers because the farm owners have money, so they pay them and then they do not settle our matters. If you want to investigate what I'm talking about, I can direct you and show you evidence about what I am talking about, but I will not reveal that here right now. There is a misuse of power from those who are in power. I am here to support Section 25, which speaks about returning the land back to the people. The land should be returned back to the people. For instance, when one is traveling to Johannesburg, one passes lots of land which belongs to certain people. Then I ask myself, where is the freedom they are talking about? Thank you.
Siyambingelela iParliament lethu. Ngumhlengani okomazibuko ngiqhamuka enhlanganweni Economic Investors Federation. Siyathokoza ukuthi iParliament lethu lisihambele ngendaba ewumgogodla wokuphila kwabo bonke abantu umnyama umhlophe. Thina ke benhlangano ye-Economic Investors Federation siyazizwa nje zonke izinto ezishiwoyo zokuthi kubuyela umhlaba kuze kube khona ekhonjwayo ingonyama trust abanye banikezwa imhlaba igcine ngaleso sikhathi ke ikhonjwa lapho ayisakhiqizi leyo mhlaba uqala uyayithola lemhlaba eyayikhiqiza sokwakhiwe kuyo endaweni zasemakhaya lapha kwahlomula iziphathimandla abaphathi bendawo amakhosi neziphathimandla zakhona ungabusazi ukuthi ngempela umhlaba makuthiwa ubuye usuku ubuyela ukwenzani ngoba unqamula kokhokho bethu besuka indawo ngendawo abanye beweli ilwandle abamhlophe nabo nathi sisuka okhokho bethu basuka enkabeni eAfrika kwakukuhlwaya amadlela ahlaza ukuze kukhiqizwe manje uma sehlonziwe indawo zokukhiqiza ebese ke manje uma sekuthiwa sesibuyela ke kulabo kuthiwa zibafanele bese kube ziyaphela ke ukukhiqizeni ayisakhiqizi sezenziwe enye into engasasiza umuntu manje thina sithi ke njengoba siyinhlangano eyazihlanganisa ukugqugquzela abantu kusukunywa ukukhiqiza kube kukhulunywa into eyodwa yokuthi akugqugquzelwa abantu ukusetshenziswa imihlaba leyo kukhiqizwe kungathiwa kubuyiselwa imihlaba kubantu abathize ngoba leyo mhlaba igcine ingasenzi lutho seyenza okunye okwakungazange ngempela kucatshanga ukuthi kuzosiza bani ngoba ukusiza komhlaba ukuthi ukukhiqizwe ukuze kuphilwe manje besishola ukuthi ke bakwethu njengoba ke ngempela ekuthenini izwe elikabani noma indawo kabani ufike kudide ngoba phela sonke siyafika sanqamula okhokho bethu besuka endaweni ngendawo safica ke abathwala akekho umuntu ongathi unendawo kahle inhloso yabo bonke abantu ababenqamula ilwandle benqamula izinkalo nemfula kwakukuhlwa amadlela ahlaza ukuze kukhiqizwe ngisho ukuthi ke bakwethu siyacela ukuthi ake kukhulunywe kuqedwe ke lokhu kokubuyiselwa bese kukhulunywe ukuthi umhlaba akube umgogodla oqinile wokuthi kukhiqizwe kungaba ukuthi ubuyele umhlaba bese wenziwe ezinye izinto kulabo okuthiwa ke ubafanele siyabonga
Qolo inhlangano yakho baba uphuma kuyo yini igama layo
Economic Investors Federation.
Economic Investors Federation. Okay, thank you. Igama la Munhlakanipho okwamazibuko from Oh, sorry.
Mhlengani wakwamazibuko.
I apologize. My name is Mhlengani I'm already flowing in Venek. My name is Mhlengani Mazibuko. I'm from Economic Investors Association. Thank you so much for our guests who came all the way to be with us today to discuss the issue of land, which is the backbone of all livelihoods across the divide. Well, the history of settlement, of land settlement in Africa is one controversial matter. Our organization simply encourages land production and productivity. And the issue of expropriation, we don't want to delve so much on that because ownership is a contentious matter. No one actually owns the land in South Africa. We all settled here at some point. We as Africans, we came from the central part of Africa. Others, they came across the water, across the seas. The original people that were in South Africa were the Khoisans. So we can finish the expropriation debate later, but what we are pushing is that let the land be productive. Let the land begin to produce so that it can feed us all. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to our distinguished guests from Parliament and all distinguished members present here today. My name is Naresh Gopi and I represent the DA. Another glaring issue with the bill is that the timeline stipulated to allow for a situation where expropriation and possession of a property can occur while the parties are still negotiating on the amount of compensation. This means that in effect, the owner will have lost their property but still be trying to negotiate compensation. And the owners to approach the courts for assistance will vest with the expropriated owner instead of the expropriating authority. That in itself brings a lot of confusion. The bill does not deal adequately with mortgages, and there is a genuine concern that if an expropriated owner is paid less in compensation than what is due on a mortgage, they will be liable to pay the bank the difference. This is having a negative impact on the banking sector already, and it will certainly worsen if this bill is passed. I don't think we'll even get foreign investment in this country, or people potential foreign investors who wish to come to this country. As soon as they hear about this bill, we must forget it. They would not set foot on this land. Therefore, we disapprove of this bill. We're not in favor of it. And the DA stands very firm on that. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Kubo bonke abathe babeka izimvo zabo
To all who came to voice their views
kulo mthetho usungulwayo
in this bill,
nangona ke sebemkile
even though they have left,
siyafuna ukusho
we would like to state that
that all those that are relating to other departments, not this bill,
ukuthi konke okuqondene neminye iminyango hayi nalomthethosivivinywa,
the land claims,
okuqondene nezicelo zokubuyiswa komhlaba,
we're going to refer them to the relevant departments.
sizokudlulisela eminyangweni efanele.
But you would like to state it clearly
Kodwa ke sithanda ukucacisa
that the bill was out on the 10th of December,
ukuthi umthethosivivinywa lo waphuma ngomhla ka-10 kuDisemba,
not only today,
hayi namuhla,
but ke sizokwenza
but we will
ukuthi omasipalati bethu
ensure that our municipalities
ohulumeni basemakhaya
and community representatives
that they have this bill
ukuthi baba nawo lo mthethosivivinywa
to distribute it to people
ukuze bawudlulisele ebantwini
before we come in.
ngaphambi kokuba sifike.
Kona, it has been there since the 10th of December.
But it has been out since mhla ka-10
We are taking
December.
all the views. We are taking all the views
Yonke imibono siyithathe siyibhale phansi
as we indicated earlier on.
njengoba sike sasho ekuqaleni.
We will discuss after we are through with the last
Uma
province.
sesiqedile ke ngesifuna sokugcina esizosihambela sobe sesiyobonisana ngayo le mibono
As the portfolio committee,
njengekomiti lendlu eshayamthetho.
and come up with a report that we will table in
Emva
parliament.
kwalokho sihlanganisa umbiko esodlulisela eParliament.
Siyabonga kakhulu ngezimvo zenu.
Thank you so much for your opinions and views.
Siyabulela Sotolopo.
Thank you, Mayor.
The meeting is adjourned.
Umhlangano uyaguqa.